weird people keep making me read to them. They won't leave me alone. But I guess I just have to. I guess I just have to do it. Wait, no, my microphone. Hello. Okay, I think we're back to normal. There we go. I think that should be. Sorry, my I forgot to up my gain on my microphone. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. It's nice to see all of you. Wait, be louder again. Little bit more. There we go. I think that's good. Hello, though. Hello, Lapis. A good boy is back. It already begins. It already begins the bullying. And thank you for the hydrate. I'll have a sip of my tea. And hello, Banana Tiger. You have work in an hour, but you're definitely chilling until then. We'll see if we can get some reading done in that hour. We can see if we can get some reading done in that hour. I feel like that's likely not to happen, but we'll see. We'll see. It may be a long stream today. I'm not 100% sure because I don't need to be up early, like super early tomorrow. So by long, I mean like it might be longer than 2 hours, like my usual week streams. And hello, Nora. And hello, Sari, always protecting us. And hello, Haru. Drown check. I just drown checked, but okay, I'll do it again. You know what? I get to drink my tea. And oftentimes what I have happen is I like have tea while I'm streaming, but then by the time I remember it, it's cold and I get very upset. And then like I don't know where my bottle of water is and someone will hydrate and I'll be like, "Oh, I'll have a sip of my tea." And then I'll sip it, it'll be cold. I'll be like, "Bleh." But I'll like suppress the icky feeling so that people don't feel bad. And hello, Steph. Welcome in, welcome in. It's nice to see you again. It's nice to see you as well. Hello, Strawberks. Burks. The guy that was in the intro picture was hot. He was the old me. He was the wait, hang on. Let me see if I can Viado tube. I started off as a PNG. I started off as a little PNG. And hello, Lassalot. Hello. So this is the old me. There's an even older version of me. Show them sketchy Ruadh. Yeah, let's show them sketchy Ruadh. So this little PNG and the one you're going to see was done by my friend Dance Again Art. The first one was actually like just I want to say a proof of concept. Like he kind of just like did this for me out of the kindness of his heart, trying to get like a basic idea of a model or of a design. Was it this one? Wait, which one was it? Where's the clear version? No, I don't want the Isaac Tier version. Wait a minute. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There's old sketchy Ruadh then. So you can see like just Dan said that he kept looking at this and getting angry by how like all of the dots and stuff on it. I feel like this might be bringing flashbacks back for some people. If not, VODs exist so you can rewatch. They should be on all my VOD channel, so that's good at least. You might have to flick around to find the area that I'm reading. Not so bad Monday. I'm glad to hear that, Haru. I'm glad to hear you're not having a bad Monday. Usually I ask you how you're doing, and you're just like pain. Like you're dying. You're often dying. You are one of the most dying people I've ever met. But I'm glad your Monday went well. Mine went kind of decently too. I had this really nice curry for dinner. Ooh. And the naan bread was so nice. The edges of it was like a big naan bread. and the edges of it were like kind of doughy, but then the center of it was all crispy. So you got like both parts of it. You had a rough day. Looking forward to stream vibe for a distraction. Oh no, Steph, I'm sad to hear that. I hope I'm able to make you feel a little bit better, a little bit cozier, a little bit comfier, and improve your Monday. Do you have a holidays this week, or just a late start to feed and training? No, it's simply I don't need to be in the place I usually have to be in. I don't have to go to Fenian training tomorrow. I still have to do it at home, but I can relax a little bit, so I don't have to get up super early. You do like iced milk teas. Your fiance got you into boba and iced milk teas. I've tried boba a few times. I remember the first time. Wait, I should get these guys off of my face. Goodbye, sketchy Ruadh, and PNG Ruadh. I remember the first time I went like into my mouth, I was like, "What the fuck?" It was like chewy. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. Like, I'm not surprised it was chewy, but at the same time, I was surprised it was chewy. Because you just didn't know. I just didn't know. But it was nice. It was very tasty. That's not him. You're talking about the fine one in the intro. But that is him. The one you saw was just a drawing of him. But I assume you're talking about this one. Very sharp. Very, very pizza-shaped face. Very sharp chin. But for now, you're dealing with me. Maybe you'll commit an art for me in the future. No, you don't have time these days. But that would be very sweet of you, but please don't do anything that would, take up a lot of your time. As someone who doesn't have a lot of free time myself, once I do, like, the things I need to do, I am all well aware of how short, your free time is. But that would be very sweet of you. I have, My fan art tag is Annals of Ruadh. ANNALSOV and then Ruadh. Or of Ruadh. Annals being a reference to the things like the Annals of the Four Masters or the Annals of Clon MacNoise and things like that. You're actually in such a good mood. Discount made a 26. Oh, but BJD? Pajamas? Is that what that means? Pajamas? I assume that means pajamas, but... Oh, you're dull. I see. Pants $1.50. Oh my god, that's a crazy discount, Haru. Good job. I can see why you're happy. You read that wrong. Yeah, no, I also got confused. You gotta say... Excuse me. You gotta save for Silas. Yes, him. Very pretty art. Very pretty art. I have a few arts in the track. In the track. Hopefully coming soon. It's a custom, so you're happy. Ooh, it's gonna look. Haru, is it like extremely tight fitting? Is it like extremely tight fitting, and you're gonna oogle him? You're gonna oogle your doll. Oh, the boy is here. Hi, Ruadh. Hi, Lapis. I said hi earlier, but hello. How are you? How are you, Lapis? It's nice to see you. That's why you saw that one channel with a funny name. No. No, you didn't see anything. That's just a misspelling. It's just a misspelling. Look, Look, when I came up with the fan art tag, immediately it stood out to me as the only possible not safe for work tag. Because, usually not safe for work tags are like a play on the word of the normal one, or there's some kind of pun, but it was sitting right there. It was sitting right there for me. I had to. Just worried what happens if I ever get popular and people are like drawing art of me and you get some not safe for work artists. What like they see that and they're like, oh, I know what to draw, and then things aren't going well for me. What a funny name. Which channel? You can see it in Discord. On you. Got done. Got dumped because I shat myself. I I can thankfully not say I understand, but I can see why an individual would get dumped for, as you say, shatting yourself. What happened? Did you think it was a fart and it just it wasn't? You can't control it. Okay. You know what? Sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go. You know, unfortunately in your case, it was in front of your significant other. He kind of looks like he could be your son, though. That fine boy. Well, I suppose you could picture him as like a slightly younger version of me, because he's not like a Shoda version of me. He's like a what? Very early 20s. Yeah, I think you could put that kind of that feel on that Rua. And then maybe this Rua is a little bit older. Of course, I'm talking about the 1820s. 1820s. IVS ruins 1 out of 5 relationships every day. Oof. Oh, that sounds rough. At least you can take a load off and relax here. Do- Dilfrua when? Dilfrua when? Maybe someday soon. Soon. You could marry him, honestly. What would that look like? You know, older Rua. As someone with IBS, I'm glad your fiance loves you despite your shitty situation. Oh, that sounds really rough, guys. I hope it's not actually too rough. But you can't come in here with a name like that and not expect me to laugh at you. No, laugh at the name, not at you. Shit, that sounded really mean. I'm sorry. Dilf, where, when, here, in a number of years, hopefully. Dang, no, I'm not a bully. I swear. You're getting smoked today. Yeah, I'm sorry. Dumped. I don't even know what to call you. Do I call you dumped? Do I call you Shat? Isn't that a name? Shat? No, I'm thinking of Shaq, the basketball guy. Oh no, it's not too rough. You just like making puns. Well, I suppose considering I read your name out multiple times, call you Dumpy. I'll call you Dumpy. That's a perfect, yeah, Shaquille O'Neal, poor man two of the two parts of your names. It works perfectly. But my name is pronounced Rua Uaquilta. Rua Uaquilta. Shatty. Dude, the worst thing is that like that would become a nickname for someone here if that did happen. Like, all right, Shatty. You just see him walking down the street, you call out to him, but no, like you could never tell anyone the story why that's the thing. Dumpy, Shaquille, same thing. Shoddy. Not trying to rise up your ego, but would you dump me for being unattractive? Wait, for not being attractive, would you dump me though? I got dumped for not being attractive. Would you dump me though? Would you dump me for being unattractive? But we're not together. I can't answer that. Shaddy, Shaddy, it's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. Yo, Shaddy, it's your. I am. I can't tell you guys what my nickname in my family is because it's kind of embarrassing. It's not like a bad embarrassing. It's just a really dumb embarrassing story. It's just dumb. It's just like me being really stupid. But it's kind of like a private thing. I'm sorry. It's a yes or no. Go quick. I feel like if I'm just not attracted to someone, unfortunately, unless they had unless I meshed wonderfully with them, I feel like if you're just not attracted to someone, that relationship is just doomed to fail. It's not even like, oh, they have to be absolutely drop dead gorgeous. It's just if you're not attracted to them, attraction is an important part of a relationship. Which does makes looks a very important first step in a relationship, but oftentimes it can be, uh once you get past that, if you just get to know someone and you gel, if I forced yourself on me, I'd punch you in the face. That's what I'd do. And I did boxing for a while and many other physical sports. A, a bitch is getting knocked on her ass if she tries to force herself on me. You have to say it. You won't be able to go to sleep. You typed that before you said it's private. I'm sorry, bro. No, you're fine. You're fine. Your mother called you sassafras pain in the ass. Oh no. Were you a problem child, banana? Were you a problem child, banana? Were you a constant sassafras pain in the ass to your mama? Can I call you Shaddy for shedding giggles? Would you still love Chad if we were all worms? I would put you guys into a container. I'd bring you down to the nearest stream and I'd use you guys to catch some salmon. And I'd try and catch the salmon of knowledge and get really smart. And you guys would help me with that. Unfortunately, you guys would have to, be salmon bait. But if you guys are worms, I can at least put you guys to use. Or I could get a big like glass box, fill it with dirt, and just put you guys in there. And you guys can just like do worm things for a while. What if we were snails? No, don't remind me of the snails. That absolute massacre. The massacre of the snails that I committed. Ugh. You are an undiagnosed autistic child. I'm sorry for laughing. I wasn't expecting that one. That's fair though. That can be tough to deal with. Certainly. She still got your ass by calling you sassafras, but maybe there was fair enough. He would squish you like those snails. Yeah, okay, so for those of you who don't know, one day I was walking home and in the space of about, I want to say 3 to 4 seconds, I stepped on 3 snails. The fourth one happened later. The fourth one happened as I neared home. And at that point I was done. I just gave up and I accepted that I was cursed for like the next year or two. He's a bully. Everyone No. I have to defend myself. I'm constantly being attacked. Hello, Claire. You took off my clothing. It's nice to see you. Rugby? I did rugby. I was an outside flanker, which is one of the set. Claire, it's snowing. I'm gonna be cold. Which is if you guys think of the scrum in the second row. They're the most outside person on the scrum. Thank you, Claire, for the face hold. Thank you. And they're on the side of the scrum that has most of the pitch to yourself. So you're able to dash away very quickly and get to whatever tackle. Mama slayed on that. Oh yeah, she did. You knew it. Of course he would use you. Men, am I right? No, don't say that about me. That's not fair. I have to find a practical use. No, wait. I'm not a user. Okay, no, I did say I would use you guys as salmon bait. That's maybe it's fair this time around. But no, that's only if you guys are worms. And maybe I'd only go for like the biggest and like thickest, juiciest worms. The rest of you guys could just like hang out in the glass box. If you guys happen to be really big worms, unfortunate for you, you guys are getting fed to the fishes. This place is chaotic, and you'll love it. I don't know why. I don't know why. You can fight too, though. No man has ever beaten you before. I'll Glasgow kiss you straight in the nose. Do you guys know what a Glasgow kiss is? Do you guys know what a Glasgow kiss? Does anyone here want a Glasgow kiss? A Glasgow kiss is where you head bop someone. If for whatever reason you guys were to ever have to headbutt someone, you're aiming for obviously your forehead. You're not smushing your face into theirs. That's called a regular kiss. But you want the front of your forehead, and you basically want to hit in sort of the square between the bridge of their eyes and the bottom of their nose. You don't want to hit their forehead because you're just going to knock yourself out. And you don't want to hit their mouth because you might break their teeth, but hey, guess what? You just got a mouthful of teeth into your head. And that's not good. Rugby are you reels are rugby arses because of you. Why because of me? I think that's more you. I think that's more you, Haru. That's just you. That's your tastes. For Ruadh, it was stepping. For Snail, for the snails, it was Pompeii. It was a disaster. I was a natural disaster. It's already April. I know. What the what the hell? It's already April. And by the end of this week, it's going to be like already halfway through April. If Ruadh was a worm, you'd use him for bait too. Thank you. Thank you for making sure that I'm put to good use. You have a pretty good body. Thank you. My mama did very good work. Well, if it were snails, he'd step on us. You don't mind? Ah, yes. Twitch chat, the most masochistic of all of groups. Like gentle headbutt or full send it? Depends. If I see you as a friend, gentle. If I see you as an enemy, very hard. Depends on the situations, though. Your lips are pretty big, though. You gotta be careful. I have good aim. You thought it was kissing their forehead? No. That's not a Glasgow kiss. That's just something sweet you do. That's just like a sweet thing to do. Like, you know, if you're like saying goodbye to your dear friend and like you guys have been through so much and you're like tucking someone into bed. That's what you do when you're tucking someone into bed. You give them a little kiss on the forehead. Give them a little head pat and then you head off. Ruadh's biggest enemies, snails. No, I genuinely love snails. That's why that day was horrible for me. That's why that day was horrible for me, because I stepped on one, then I panicked, kind of stepped off, took 2 steps, I felt the crunch of another, and then I stepped onto the grass and felt the crunch of a third, and then I was devastated. You were like, hey, no. Stop it. Maybe I should try that with you guys. Maybe that would work. If you guys are getting like too rowdy, I give you guys like a little kiss on the forehead. And like me showing affection just like short circuits you guys, you know? Me showing affection to you. That kind of affection. Just like makes you guys be like, oh. Then you just stop. You just stop moving. Killing a whole lineage by accident. I don't want to think about it, dude. You know, a channel that deals with vor stepping on people as snails is like not that weird. I think I might know the VTuber you're on about. I know at least one VTuber, or at least I've seen one. I can't remember their name. That was like all about vor, and I was like, oh, well, I guess there's a thing for everyone. There's a thing for everyone. That's what makes VTubing so fun. As long as they keep it over there. Gotta take your dinner first before any kisses. Probably for escargot. The French are running out of snails, so they send in Ruadh to kill them all so that they can collect more. Well, no, that would just make them run out of snails faster. I'd be too effective. I'm more of a pest control, actually. I'm more pest control. I'm sent in if they're overbreeding. If we're on the verge of being taken over by snails, I go in there and I do a little bit of an Irish dance, and I smush them. Imagine that TikTok of family generations trend, but Rua just eliminates all the snail generations with one step. No, stop. Dude, that the worst part was like after it happened, I was shocked. I was flabbergasted. I was like, I can't believe this has happened. And then I was like, okay, I just have to keep going. Like, I can't stop here. I can't stop here forever. Life goes on. I have to keep moving. So I went on my merry way. Almost home, I felt the crunch of another one under my foot. And at that point, I was done. At that point, I was like I just threw up my arms into the air and just kept walking. Was Anakin Skywalker for a step? No, it was more multiple steps. Do you guys ever think Jedi like drop their lightsabers? Like, you know how I killed all those snails by accident? Do you think like Jedi ever kind of like just messing about and then they like, oh shit? I know Rick and Morty did a joke about that, but like there's gotta be at least like 3 or 4 Padawans that died because of that. Nah, that's kind of just natural selection. If you have the Force making you super fast and powerful, you shouldn't be dropping shit. At what age do you get a lightsaber? I think they get them quite young, but like they get like at a lightsaber's like weak. I don't know what age do you get a lightsaber at? Let me look. What age do you get a lightsaber? Build their lightsabers as younglings or Padawans. Translates to the ages of 10 to 11. Not as a specific age, but as a stage in their training. Okay, so average around there. I see. Your students were convinced that there were no shops in the 90s? What? What does that mean? What do they think people did? They're very small. I understand this, but like... Huh? No, wait, aren't you teaching like senior infants? Like 6-year-olds? Or like 7-year-olds? They're 6 to 7? Okay. I feel like even at that age, 1800 years ago, I was still like, I knew what a shop was. They would 100% die if given a lightsaber. Or they'd be very dangerous. They'd be like if you like taped a knife to a Roomba. That's what they'd be like. Just a lot faster. Probably 10 like Pokemon or something. You're right. Good guess. The liddies are funny around that age. Blunt and will repeat anything they hear. They were gobsmacked to hear that there were shops in Jesus' time. They have no concept. Yeah. I imagine it's a lot of fun. I imagine it's very tiring. But like just listening to the stuff that they be talking about and thinking about is probably really, really fun. Nothing like getting roasted by kids. Didn't they have a whole TV show about that? Like, kids say the damnedest things or something. I think that was a TV show, wasn't it? The idea of thousands of years ago is so abstract for them. It's very tiring, but it's so fun. I imagine. Like, I remember just looking after, like, cousins. Like, two cousins, and that was enough for me. You were working for free in your granny's shop at that age. Haru, you must have thought that your granny's shop was the only shop in existence. Like, your granny supplied the whole world. Also, what the fuck for free? That's not fair, Haru. That's literally child labor. What the hell? If there was a mine, if there were mines, Haru, your grandmother would be sending you down them. She'd be putting on the hard hat. She'd be putting your hard hat on you, putting you in the little mine cart and just pushing you on down. When just imagine they ask what year you were born and you go 19 and they go damn. You've convinced them you're 304, 5 now, birthday recently. Well, happy birthday. I It'd be so fun just messing around with kids like that, just making them believe anything. You're in that subreddit like kids are dumb or something. Its name is amazing. I use Reddit for like very niche things, you know. Not even niche things, just like general topics that I want to talk about. But there's one Reddit subreddit, yeah, they're called, that keeps popping up. It's called like Weird Eggs, and it's really weird. There are some really fucked up eggs on that place. I think I saw a rotten egg for the first time, and it did not look nice. Ugh. Like, and not even like oh, it's like kind of starting to turn. It's just like fully rotted. What kind of eggs? You thought you were for bald people? Still loves dinosaurs until they found out it's Sonic. Wait, what? Maybe I'm not, maybe I missed something there. Had chickens, one laid an egg with no shell. Wait, huh? So was the egg like, did it just go like onto the ground, or was it kind of like still in a weird shape of an egg, but it like, yeah, did it have the membrane? I suppose there is a membrane. Ah, okay. That's great. That's really cool. Like a clear egg. But like the type of eggs that they be posting oftentimes is like, you know, a fertilized egg that managed to get through the batch and then they cracked it open and it's just like a half fucking developed chicken. I'd be very upset if that happened to me. What happened to kids loving dinosaurs in Egypt at 5? We gotta get them back into that stuff. Your brain has a hard time warping around the concept of people being born in the 2000s, which is funny because your fiance is. Oh, hello, Barbara. Hello. It's nice to see you. I apologize. I was talking away. I do apologize if I'm like missing your chat at all. It's not that I just get talking and sometimes I can miss things. You thought the subreddit of the eggs you said was just pictures of bald people? No, I'm not just looking at pictures of bald people. That would be a weird way to spend my day. I feel like that would just be like a way to feel better about myself, you know? If I have like a shit day, I can just be like, let me look at these guys. Now some of them, I'm sure some of them look absolutely fantastic bald, but you know, still lacking in hair. Flexing his luxurious head of hair. Watching like, well, maybe someday you guys will get a bald redeem, and you know, who knows what I'll be like in, thank you for the headbat, in like 10, 20 years. You know, 1800 years have been pretty kind to me. Please, a bald redeem. What, so you guys can shine my head and make it all, like, shiny and bright? Developing chicken is a great source of protein. I suppose, but it doesn't look nice. It doesn't look nice. If we head pat him enough, we can make him bald. No, 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 no. Do not give me a bald spot. Do not give me a bald spot by head patting me. That's mean. Get away from me. No, stop. Stop. No. Banana, don't take the head pat away from me. Don't take the head pat away from me. This is mean. No. No. My one joy. You fucking idiots. You redeemed it too fast. Now neither of you get... Wait, no, didn't you... Wait, doesn't that break it? Pull his hair? Oh, wait, I think I know what it... Yeah. You're such a bitch, bro. High fives through Rua's head. No, get away from me. Do you think there's a subreddit from Mr. Clean's bald head? There definitely is. There's definitely a Mr. Clean subreddit, and I assume it's filled with... No, get off of me. Get the fuck off of me. Get your motherfucking hands off of me. Why am I'm being assaulted right now? If we... see, thank you, Banana. See, the face hold is like the one way of relaxing me. It's the one way of relaxing me. It makes me feel better. Yeah. Take his hair. Don't you steal my wig. No, don't like pull it and like it comes off in like one smooth motion. What do you think? Why do you... Why do you think Brua over there has such great hair? It's all wigs. Except little Ruru. Wig snatched. Dude, that would be a fucked up thing to do with someone. No. This is enough head patting. There's enough head patting for a whole stream. You guys are gonna get my brain all scrambled by shaking my head around. No. Stop. You're grabbing me. Get off of me. You guys are just bullying me now. See, this is what I mean. This is why I have to be violent. This is why I have to be violent against you guys and aggressive. Because you guys do this type of stuff. If I don't put you guys in your place, you start revolting. You start revolting. I mean, you guys are already revolting, but... I gotta get my licks in when I can. Rua is 100% a cat. Pure cat vibe. Hello, Ice Boy, and hello, all of your viewers. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Hello, Hero Raven. Hello, Ice Boy. Thank you so much. Hello, Wanchu. Hello, Fanhana. Can Cat Rua be combined with... Not yet. But hello, everyone. It's lovely to meet all of you. Let me very quickly. Ice Boy Wav. I'm currently being bullied and head patted by all of my viewers to try and give me a bald spot. You'll go get the catnip. Okay, I would not calm down then if you guys gave me catnip. Wait, no, I'm not cat boy. I'm not cat boy. What am I talking about? You want to head pat cat so much? Okay, maybe I'll try and figure out a way to do that. I don't know how I do that, but I'll figure out a way. But hello, everyone. Welcome in. I hope you guys had a lovely stream. What are you guys up to? You're pretty cool. Ice Boy Rage, you're pretty cool. I like it. Well, of course, wherever Ice Boy goes, he's always bringing the cool with him. I assume you guys were up to some ASMR. To give you guys a little introduction, my name is Rua Uaquilta. I'm a half-human, half-Tua Hade from the God peoples of Ireland. It builds character. And ball spots. No, don't give me a ball spot. Hello, Witty. Hey, Rue. Hope you're having a nice ASMR stream. Take care of your cool people for you. I will. I'll look after them to the best of my ability. Although right now, what we're doing, right now, I'm being assaulted, Ice Boy. Can you believe this? Can you believe, Ice Boy, that Twitch chat would assault the streamer? What type of a world do we live in where us VTubers can't even stream in peace without them trying to give us ball spots or snatch our wigs? The one we did the ice baby rest. Yes, it is. That the very same. You're Irish, so it's inevitable. Did you just Did you just say I'm good at like it's inevitable I get a ball spot? I think I read that wrong, but that's how it read to me. You're Irish, you're gonna get bald anyway. Accept it, buddy. I assume you meant getting head patted. Assaulted. I thought it was you're Irish, you gotta get bullied. I bullied, assaulted, bald, head patted. Only like one of these is good. I'm gonna call your barber and get that wig. You guys are all gonna be wearing my hair soon. Thank you, Romar, for the stretch and the hydrate. Hang on, let me. No, who's poking me in the nose? Fox, of course it's you. Okay. I apologize to anyone who is coming here for like actual ASMR right now. We will be getting into a soft reading soon. I promise. Shame Rua into donating his hair. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't work on me. I've had people be like, would you give an extra €2? Would you give an extra €2 to thing? And like, you know, if they're nice about it, I will. But if they're like, you know, if they're kind of pushy about it, I'll be like, no, and I'll walk away. I am very when I want to be, I can be very, very belligerent. Go on an extra 2 for those in need. No, get it. Not my hair. There's a correlation of being Irish and getting bullied, you guess? No, it doesn't work that way. Well, since you don't need those head pats, then push-ups maybe? No, don't make me do push-ups. Hang on, wait, I have to take the hydrate too. Where's my bottle of water? What other 2 inches? Neither. You should make me do push-ups. Fine. You guys are gonna have to redeem it to make me do the push-ups, but I might do the push-ups, then I'll catch my breath, and then we'll get into the reading and do the actual ASMR stuff. See, I feel that's what happens. Is I feel like an ASMR streamer raids into me, and then instantly it's like, this guy isn't doing ASMR at all. He's laughing loudly, he's shouting into the microphone, and it's just like I ruin it for them. And maybe I should have it as just chatting at these portions, and then do ASMR later. I think that would make a lot more sense. But Haru redeemed the push-up redeem. So you guys, I guess you guys get counting ASMR for a little bit. You get breathy counting ASMR as I do some push-ups. Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. There we go. Did I get face poked? Did I get face poked while doing my push-ups? Breathy, yeah, for the post out of breath. The Count from Sesame Street. It was on beat. It's all in your head. I see. I thought I felt it. 1, 2, 3, psychosis. They're all voices in my head. It's weird. It's weird how it just hits me. Okay, there we go. I think I have my breath back. Be slightly heavier. Me in your girl's ear meme. Huh? I don't know this meme. Let me have a sip of water. There's not much left in there. There's not much left in there at all. Okay. Oh, it was Claire who poked me. I see. Taking advantage of me while I'm doing push-ups. Thought I could trust you. Like, the thing is that, like, after I do push-ups, I'm just like, I just gotta, like, take, like, a minute break or two. Hello, Regnum. Hello, Regnum Wait, what is that? Hello, Regnum Regvis. Welcome in. How are you? Regnum Regulus. Ah, I see. Oh, okay, I see what you're going for. Welcome in. Thank you very much for the follow and the first time chat. I think... What do I think? I think we might get into the actual ASMR portion of this stream. Thank you, Haru, for the head pat. What? What does that mean, lasts a lot? But okay. Ugh. It is. Thank you, Fox, for the face hold. Thank you. Your name is like the most Irish of the Irish. It very much is. It's very up there. I always enjoy watching people struggle. Even people who, like, I've talked to a load of times still get it wrong. And it's very funny to me. Oftentimes what happens is they just start calling me Rue so they don't have to deal with it. Or they just stick with the Rua. They don't try the other parts because they don't get much practice on those. But I suppose for those who may be late coming in, the name is Rua Ua Quilta. Hello, Billy. He's already... No, I'm not. I have my Lena on. Melts? Oh, no, Billy. Can you... Oh, no, he's gonna get everywhere. He's gonna get into the cracks in the floor. He's going onto the carpet, too. Oh, this is gonna take so much to, like, just scoop him up. Is it perhaps inspired by Diarmuid Uadivna? No. The name here, Rua Uaquilta, is meant to be just kind of a reference to, I suppose, lore-wise, the father of me, of Ruadh, being Cuilta Macronon, the second of the Fianna, really, only to Fionn McCool himself. Okay, I think we might actually try and get into the reading now, because we've been going for a little while. But I'd like to actually, on my reading streams, my ASMR streams, try to actually, do something a little bit, do something for once. Yeah, wait, what's going on? What's going on with my stuff? Okay, there we go. Okay. So, when last we left off, we were reading all about the arrival of the Gale in Ireland. So we're reading Lady Augusta Gregory's Irish Myths and Legends, Gods and Fighting Men. No malware bites. I don't want 40% off. Go away. So we read all about the kind of arrival of the Gale, the battle between the Tuatha Dé and the Gale, and how the Gale eventually won out and drove the Tuatha Dé underground. Well, to the other world, sort of often perceived as being under the ground, but to the other world. Oftentimes the portals to the other world being seen in the drumlins and the many of the Neolithic tombs that are dotted in Ireland's landscape. Let me just turn off those ads. Now I believe, from the looks of it, we're about to get more into kind of the surviving Tuatha Dé. Those that survived the battle and what they got up to, and many of them being the powerful gods. As the title of this chapter calls it, or this book, the ever-living ones. I think we're going to get some interesting stories here. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. Bovderg. But as to the Tuatha Dé, after they were beaten, they would not go under the sway of the sons of Meal, that being the Gale. But they went away by themselves, and because Manannán, son of Lear, understood all enchantments, they left it to him to find places for them where they would be safe from their enemies. So he chose out of the most beautiful of the hills and valleys of Ireland for them to settle in, and he put hidden walls about them, that no man could see through, but they themselves could see through and pass through them. And he made the feast of age for them, and what they drank at it was the ale of Gobnew the smith, that was kept whoever tasted it from age and from sickness and from death. And for food at the feast he gave them his own swine, that though they were killed and eaten one day, would be alive and fit for eating again the next, and that would go on that way forever. They were trying to contact Roadhouse about his car's extended warranty. Good to know it corrects Ruadh to Roadhouse sometimes. That's a great autocorrection. I thought you were talking about like that movie Roadhouse, and all I know from that is Peter Griffin going Roadhouse and kicking someone. Or does he kick someone and then say Roadhouse? Can't remember. Hello, the lazy chewing gum. Welcome in. Thank you very much for the first time chat. Not for the first time, for the follow, not for the first time chat. My brain is eepy today. My brain is a little bit eepy. It's the end of the day. And after a while, they said, "It would be better for one king to be over us, than to be scattered the way we are through the whole of Ireland." Now the men among them had the best chance of getting the kingship at that time were Bovderg, son of the Dagda, and Ilbroch on Eas Ruadh, and Lear of Sheed Fiancook. Oh god, that's a difficult name. And Lear of Sheed, Fianachuk, and the hill of the white field, on Sleeve Fua, and Midir of the proud of Brí Leha, and Angus Og, son of the Dagda. But he did not covet the kingship at all, but would sooner be left as he was. Then all the chief men but those 5 went into council together, and it is what they agreed, to give the kingship to Bove Derg for the sake of his father, for his own sake, and because he was the eldest among the children of the Dagda. It was in Sheath Femin. Bove Derg had his house, and he put great enchantments about it. Cleoch, the harper of the king of the 3 roses of Connacht, went one time to ask one of his daughters in marriage, and he stayed outside the place through the whole length of a year, playing his harp, unable to get no nearer to the Bove or to his daughter. And he went on playing till a lake burst under his feet, the lake that is at the top of a mountain, Loch Belshade. Has the Dagda eaten ditch porridge yet? He has. We had that happen earlier with the battle with the Fair Bolg. At this point, I believe the Dagda is actually dead, unfortunately, or at least kind of like passed away. It seems very much that he's gone at this stage. You missed it, yeah. You missed him having a big belly, and dragging his club to make a big ditch, and then trying to hit on the Morrigan. It was Bove's swineherd went to Daw Derga's inn, and his squealing pig along with him. The night Conair, the High King of Ireland, met with his death, and it was said that whatever feast that swineherd would go to, there would be blood shed before it was over. And Bove had 3 sons, Angus, Airtuck, and Ive, and they used often to be living among men in the time of the Fianna afterwards. Airtuck had a house with 7 doors, and a free welcome for all that came, and the king's son of Ireland and of Alban used to be coming to Angus to learn the throwing of spears and darts, and the troops of poets from Alban and from Ireland used to be with Ive. That was the comeliest of Bove's sons, so that his place used to be called the Rath of Ive of the Poets. Can you get a short summary of the story you're telling? So the story we're telling here is sort of the post. Just jumped in. Which legend is this? I feel like this sort of. It's hard to tell exactly what legend this is right now. But we're reading Lady Augusta's Gregory's work. This sort of post the battle between the Gael and the Tuatha Dé, and it's really kind of just discussing the new kingship of the Tuatha Dé. I think setting out many of the kind of characters of the stories that we'll meet soon. So like the sons of the Bove Derg, Angus Og as well. So many important characters. But welcome into thank you Lazy Chewing Gum for the first time chat, and hello Cinnabunny, welcome in. Thank you for the first time chat as well. And indeed it was a Rath, by the way, is a castle essentially, or a Not don't think of it like a big stone castle. Although maybe with the Tuatha Dé, you could certainly think of it as a magnificent castle, but sort of a large round fortresses, wooden. The Rat of Ive of the Poets. Well, I suppose there would be stone, but it wouldn't be like the block stone. It would be probably heaps of stone in certain areas to make a large wall. And indeed, it was a beautiful rat at that time, with golden yellow apples in it, and a crimson pointed nuts of the wood. But after the passing away of the Fianna, the 3 brothers went back to the Tuatha Dé. And Bove Derg was not always in his own place, but sometimes he was at Angus at Brú-na-Bóin. 3 sons of Luamen, King of Ireland, Éachaid and Fiacha and Ruadh, went there one time, for their father refused them any land till they would win it for themselves. And when he said that, they rose with the ready rising of one man, and went and sat down on the green of Brú-na-Bóin, and fasted there on the Tuatha Dé, to see if they could win some good thing from them. Hello, Mike. It's nice to see you. What hath you missed? You missed some silliness. You missed some silliness, some chatting. Popping in to say hi to you and hear your lovely voice for a bit. Thank you so much, Mel. That's a very... Sorry, I need to drop something. That's very sweet of you, and thank you for the hydrate. Always gotta make sure that the reader, the VTuber's voice is well hydrated. Gotta make sure the vocal cords are lubricated. Get some HTO. It sounds like a good story about rivalry. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. We already have a little bit of that now with the this reference to King Aechid and his Luigmen, his 3 sons. You're gonna go honk, shoo, me. Now, love you all, bye. Bye, Mel. It's nice to see you. And they were not long there till they saw a young man, quiet and with pleasant looks, coming towards them, and he wished them good health, and they answered him the same way. Where you come from? They asked him. From the Rath beyond, with the many lights, he said, and I am Bove Durg, son of the Dagda. And come in with me now to the Rath. So they went in, and supper was made ready for them, but they did not use it. Bove Durg asked them, why was it they were not using nothing? It is because our father has refused us land, said they, and there are in Ireland but 2 races, the son of the Gael and the men of Dea, and when the one failed us, we are to come to the other. Then the men of Dea consulted together, and chief among them was Medir of the yellow hair, and it is what he said. Let us give a wife to every one of these 3 men, for it is from a wife that good or bad fortunes come. Good or bad. Dude, imagine just rocking up to a place. Thank you, Cinnabunny, for the follow. Very nice of you. Imagine just rocking up to a place and being like, you know, oh, my father disinherited me. And then they're like, oh, don't worry, here's a wife. Have a complimentary wife. Can that be like what companies start putting in their like gift baskets? Like their little, you know, their little baggies, their little gift baggies when you leave. You go on a little tour and it's like, here, have you know, a little complimentary water bottle, maybe a pen, maybe a wife, you know. All you gotta do is sign on the marriage certificate. But be careful. If you sign on that marriage certificate, you're actually signing up for their subscription model. So they agreed to that. So they agreed to that, and Medir's 3 daughters, Darren, Aoife, and Ailey. How would I pronounce this? Ailva, were given to them. Then Medir asked Bove to say what marriage portion should be given to them. I will tell you that, said Bove. We are 3 times 40 sons of kings in this hill. Let every king's son give 3 times 50 ounces of red gold, and I myself, he said, will give them along with that 3 times 50 suits of clothing of all colours. I will give them a gift. Oh wait, I will give them a gift, said a young man of the Tuatha from Rock Lane on the sea. A horn I will give them, and a vat, and there is nothing wanting but to fill the vat with pure water, and it will turn into mead, fit to drink, and strong enough to make drunken. And into the horn, he said, you have but to put salt water from the sea, and it will turn into wine on the moment. A gift from me, said Lear of Shead Fionn-Kia. 350 swords. 3 times 50 swords, and 3 times 50 well-riveted long spears. A gift from me, said Angus Og, son of the Dagda. A rath and a good town, with high walls, and with bright sunny houses, and with wide houses, in whatever place it will please them, between Rat, Covetaig, and Tara. A gift to them from me, said Aena, son of Moron. A woman cook that I have, and there is Geisa on her not to refuse food to any, and according as she serves it out, her stores fill up itself again. Alrighty, you're gonna head on out. Have a good night. Have a good night, Banana. Dude, these guys are they just showed up, they just rocked up, and they're just getting given everything. What's a Cantera? Oh, sorry. You probably heard me say Rotkovtig and Tara. I'm assuming that's probably where you're hearing Cantera. Tara refers to kind of the traditional place of kingship of all of Ireland. So often the High King holds the seat of Tara. Another gift to them from me, said Bovderg, a good musician that I have, fair Twinna, son of Trogain. And although there were women in the sharpest pains of childbirth, and brave men wounded early in a place where there were souls going through wood, they would sleep at the sweetness of the music he makes, and whatever house he may be in, the people of the whole country round will hear him. You thought Tara referred to the Kingdom of Ireland. Tara refers to a specific area, but it's often the High King. It's where the High King traditionally sits. Especially once you get into the kind of southern Unail and their control over Meath and basically over Tara. Oh my god, I just saw something down there. I just saw something down there that's gonna be interesting. So they stopped in Brún na Boyne 3 days and 3 nights, and when they left it, Angus bade them bring away from them oakwood 3 apple trees, one in full bloom, one shedding its blossom, and the third covered with ripe fruit. So they stopped. They went then to their own dune that was given them, and it is a good place they had there, and a troop of young men, and great troop of horses and of greyhounds, and they had 3 sorts of music that comely kings like to be listening to, the music of harps and lutes, the chanting of Trogain's son, and there were 3 great sounds, the tramping of the green, the uproar of racing, and the lowing of cattle, and 3 other sounds, the grunting of good pigs, with the fat thick on them, the voices of the crowd on the green lawn, and the noise of men drinking inside the house. As to Eachwyd, it was said of him that he never took a step backwards in flight, and his house was never without music and drinking of ale, and it was said of Fiacla that there was no man of his time braver than himself, and that he himself never said a word too much, and as to Ruadh, he never refused anyone, and never asked anything of any at all of any man. The High King is the king that beats up all the other kings. That's the quintessential High Kingship. There's a name down here. I want to see if you guys recognize it. And when their lifetime was over, they went back to the Tuatha, for they belonged to them through their wives, and there they have stopped ever since. Would you ever be interested in the tale to tell the tales of Tir na Nog? I believe they get told later on in this story, so we'll definitely get to it at some point. The big, I'm the highest king that makes all of the rules. Delightful scenario, all the boys drinking beer near fire. Hell yeah. That never goes wrong. That never goes that badly. Okay, here we go. Here's where I want you guys to remember something. And Bovderg had a daughter, Scotneamh, the flower of brightness, that gave her love to Cuilta in the time of the Fianna. But they were forced to part from one another, and they never met again, till the time Cuilta was old and withered, and one of the last that was left of the Fianna. And she came to him out of the cave of Cruachan, and asked him for the bride price he had promised her, and that she was never able to come and ask for it for till then. And Cuilta went to a cairn that was near, and then was full up of gold, that was wages earned by Conan Mail, and hidden there, and he gave the gold to the Bove Durg's daughter. And the people that were there wondered to see the girl so young and comely, and Cuilta so grey and bent and withered. There is no wonder in that, said Cuilta, for I am of the sons of meal that wither and fade away, and she is of the Tuatha that never change and never die. Maybe you guys are looking at they may not have technically been married, but supposedly anyway, they may have had a son. It's cool. It's cool seeing that there. Chapter 2. The Dogda. It was at Brunaboyne the Dogda, the Red Man of all knowledge, had his house, and the most noticeable thing in it were the hall of the Morrigu, and the bed of the Dogda, and the birthplace of Kermit Honeymouth, and the prison of the Grey of Macha, that was Cuchullin's horse afterwards. And there was a little hill by the house that was called the Comb, and the casket of the Dogda's wife. That was called the Comb, and the casket of the Dogda's wife, and another that was called the Hill of Dabila. That was the little hound belonging to Bone, and the valley of the Mata that was there, the sea turtle that could sunk down a man in armour. She's a mysterious bloom of fate. And it is likely that the Dogda put up his own cooking oven there, that Drumna, son of Loker, made for him at Tara. And it is the way it was. The axle and the wheel were of wood, and the body was of iron, and there were twice 9 wheels on its axle, that it might turn the faster, and it was as quick as the quickness of the stream in turning, and there were 3 times 9 spits from it, and 3 times 9 pots, and it used to lie down with the cinders and to rise to the height of the roof with the flame. Damn, the Dogda would be cooking up a storm. You know he's cooking up some good food. The Dogda himself made a great vat one time for Aenga, his daughter, but she was not well satisfied with it, for it would not stop from dripping while the sea was in flood, though it would not lose a drop during the ebb tide, and she gathered a bundle of twigs to make a new vat for herself. But Galba, son of Nuada of the Silver Hand, stole it from her and hurled it away, and in the place where it fell a beautiful wood grew, that was called Gabla's Wood. Why are they including multiplication in here? They were 3 times 9. Just say the number. No, it sounds better if you say things like 3 times 50, 3 times 9. I don't know why they do that. I think it does just kind of give more of an old feel to it, though. Like, and there was 18, or no, wait, no, there was 27. There was 27. I can do maths. I can do maths. I promise. Lore books and Elder Scrolls do that. It's classy. It is classy. I agree, Mike. It's very classy. Ruadh, incapable of maths. It's so over. 3 is mystical, yes. Yeah, it's just around there. Vintage. It's you see 3, like 300, the 300 Spartans, the tripartite state, the tripartite soul. Are there many instances of 3 in Irish mythology? You have the 3 sons of Tailtin. You have the tree, like, isn't there like 3 main gods? Well, technically, yeah, you have the Bove Durg, Manannán, and Bove Durg, but then you also have Lear, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's, I can't remember. The Morrigan has 3 instances. So yeah, I think 3 is just a nice number. The Triskelion, the 3 hairs and so on. Yeah. It's all over the place. I think it's just a good number, you know. I've actually never heard Triskelion pronounced, so I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I've always seen it written, but when you see things written down, you just kind of pronounce it in your mind. Hmm. And the Dagda had his household at Brunaboyne, and his steward was Diachel, and Lenlien Fiacloch was the smith of the brew. It was, he lived in the lake, making the bright vessels of Fand, daughter of Fliada. Oh my god, some of these names are absolutely brutal to read. Daughter of Flia. And every evening where he left off work, he would make a cast of the anvil eastward to Indian Nades, and the anvil of the Desi, as far as the grave end. Three showers it used to cast: a shower of fire, a shower of water, and a shower of precious stone of pure purple. But Turaba, father of Gobnud the smith, used to throw better again, for he would make a cast of his axe from Tulach Nabela, the hill of the axe, in the face of the flood tide, and he would put the order on the sea, and it would not come over the axe. All of these are just all references to random stories, it feels like. And he did this, and this guy did this thing, and this guy did this. Are you Diluk? Hmm? You Diluk? And Coron was the best of the harpers of the household. He was harper to the Dagda's son, Dean Kecht, and one time he called with his harper to Caelcair, one of the swine of the Brawn, and it ran northward with all its strength of its legs, and the champions of Connacht were following after it with all their strength of running, and their hounds were with them, till they got as far as Case Coron. And they gave it up there, all except Niall, that went on to track of the swine till he found it in the oak wood of Tarba. And then it made away over the plain of Eye and through a lake, and Niall and his hound were drowned in following it through the lake. And the Dagda gave Coron a great tract of land for doing his harping so well. Dialux is redder, though. Ah, I see. Someone from Genshin Impact. Poor Niall. But however great a house... Yeah, it's just and this guy was here, and then he drowned. But however great a house the Dagda had, Angus got it away from him in the end, through the help of Mananon, son of Lear. Ah, this is one of the many stories of how Brún the Boyne... This is a good story. This is a good story. Is swindled from the other individual. Speaking of drown check. Thank you, Harold. Had to unscrew my bottle of water. My bottle of water. Wooa, 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 cool, wooa, from Grand Fate Order. What? I thought that would be wait, no, Fate Grand Order. Grand Fate Order. What did I say? I don't even know. For Mananon bade him to ask his father for it for the length of a... For Mananon bade him, i.e. Angus, to ask his father for it for the length of a day and a night, and that he by his art would take away his power of refusing. So Angus asked for the brew, and his father gave it to him for a day and a night. But when he asked for it back again, it is what Angus said, that it had been given to him for ever, for the whole of life and time is made up of a day and a night, one following after the other. So when the dog heard that, he went away, and his people and his household with him. From then on, put on enchantment on them all. Did you guys get that? He's basically saying, like, oh, I will have this for a day and a night, but all of life is made up of a day and a night, so he owns it for all time. There's multiple instances of this happening in multiple stories. It's weird that it keeps recurring. You think someone would wise up eventually and be like, no, fuck you, get out of my house. That is a terrible loophole, yeah. Hello, Tylus VT. Welcome in, welcome in. I can only assume by your VT at the end that you yourself are a VTuber. Or maybe... Oh, thank you for the first time chat. And thank you for the heart. Tell me man to man. Bruh, how can I make a deeper voice like you? You want to impress your GF? Unfortunately, you can't really... You can, you know, put on a deeper voice. Just kind of dropping... the only way I describe it is kind of dropping your throat a little bit. Well, like, if I do that, then I drop down to about here. Can I go much lower? No. Then it starts sounding... What type of voice is this? What is this voice? Hey, hey, hey. It's Fat Albert. Wait. Wait a minute. Oh, Fred. Wait. Hey, Peter. Hey, Peter. You choose to believe Gum got a GF while speaking in constant falsetto. That yeah, Gum, you really shouldn't be speaking, and you shouldn't be speaking like this all the time. It's not very effective for having a deep voice. If you want to sound lower, you just have to talk a little bit normally. or you can sound like a Mickey Mouse. Wait, no, my voice isn't there today. You can sound a little bit like a Mickey Mouse. No, sometimes I can get it higher. Some days my voice is a little bit better. Hello, Angel. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you? It's nice to see you. I'm doing pretty well. Hey, hey, hey. I should practice that voice. I want just like a silly voice. The best way what I can describe is just try to one, if you're like consciously trying to put on a voice, it's going to be quite obvious unless you're practiced with it. I'm someone who did a lot of public speaking, who did a lot of presentations and stuff, so I'm very comfortable with talking. And I think over time that just kind of developed into a relatively smooth voice. In that voice, my name is wait. Hey, hey, this kind of voice? My name is Gerald. I don't know if that's what you wanted me to do. But ultimately it's just kind of finding where your natural voice sits and just trying to, I guess, you know, I watched a good video before about like it's way better for you to talk in your natural tone with a nice, smooth kind of feel to it, rather than trying to, you know, I'm not going to be, you know, I don't have the voice of, say, Vox Akima or Hex Haywire, where they're down like here. You know, if I was to talk like this all the time, I think you guys would probably get very annoyed at me. Hi, Sunshine. It's nice to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you? You having a good day? You having a good day, Sunshine? You have a lovely voice. Thank you, Claire. That's very kind of you. That's very kind of you. How's my day going? It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. I'm having a nice time. I'm kind of feeling relaxed, you know? I'm feeling nice and relaxed. I feel like in the next week or two it's gonna get very busy. So I'm going to enjoy while it's kind of easy at the moment. Also, sorry, by the way, I feel I should have said this earlier. I really should have said this earlier. But the place that's it's mentioning, Brún na Boyne, you may have heard that before, but another word for it is Newgrange. Is Newgrange. You may have heard of Newgrange. It's one of the kind of most impressive of the Neolithic tombs. It has a really cool structure at the front of it, where it used to be perfect, but over time the shift of the sun and the earth have kind of made it slightly off kilter. But I think it was, what was it, the winter solstice, wasn't it? I believe, yeah, the winter solstice. On the shortest day of the year, as the sun would rise, it would reach a certain point where it would hit this sort of stone structure, and the light would shine through a gap in the structure that would illuminate all of the chamber within inside of the Newgrange. But Newgrange is like, it's such an important. You can see here in the stories, it's always mentioned, but it's probably the most significant and dominant of the Neolithic structures. And you can see that there's a fascination with it within the Tuatha Dé, because it's often imagined that the gateways to the Tuatha Dé, to the other world, is true many of these domlins, these passage tombs, these Neolithic tombs. And of course, well, obviously, the greatest of them, Brún na Boyne, must itself be where the greatest of the Tuatha Dé lived, or at least had their main residences. I think we should get back to reading for a little bit. Your day is going okay. Well, that's okay. That's good enough, I think. I hope I can help make it better, sunshine. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. But Diachu, the steward, was away at the time, and his wife and his son, for they were gone out to get provisions for a feast for Manannán and his friends. And when they came back and knew his master was gone, he took service with Angus. And Angus stopped in Brún na Boyne, and some say he's there to this day, with the hidden walls about him, drinking Gobnew's ale and eating the pigs that never fail. As to the Dagda, he took no revenge, though. He had the name of being revengeful and quick in temper, and some say it was at Tara he made his dwelling place after that, but wherever it was a great misfortune came on him. It chanced one time that Corrigan, a great man of Connacht, came to visit him and his wife along with him, and while they were there, Corrigan got it in his mind that there was something not quite right going on between his wife and Ide, one of the sons of the Dagda, and great jealousy and anger came on him, and he struck at the young man and killed him before his father's face. Everyone thought the Dagda would take Corrigan's life then and there in revenge for his son's life. But he would not do that, for he said if his son was guilty, there was no blame to be put on Corrigan for doing what he did. So he spared his life for the time, but if he did, Corrigan did not gain much by it. For the punishment he put on him was to take the dead body of the young man on his back, and never to lay it down till he would find a stone that would be its very fit in length and its breadth, and that would make a gravestone for him. Hello, everyone. Hello, Fuji. Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. Hello, Fluffy Thigh Squisher. That's a great name. Unfortunately, I don't think my thighs are very fluffy. They're more strong and tough. Hello, Kaliakana. Hello, Fuji. Thank you very much for the raid. It's very nice to meet you. Hang on, let me do a very quick shout out. Shout out, Fuji. Welcome in, welcome in. What were you doing? What were you guys up to? Hello, Cal Smear. Hello, Sir Knight Natsu. Hello, the eyes of a strong warrior. Thank you very much. Well, I do have normal eyes, but I like this when I'm doing, I don't know, times. Thighs are thighs. That's fair. That's fair. How's your stream? I think it's going pretty well. What we're currently doing right now is we're reading some not reading some ASMR. We're reading some Irish myths. Little spark beam. Hello, Rin Rin VT. Welcome in. Just usual unhinged ASMR. I know it might seem very calm right now, but I will admit the beginnings of my reading streams often get quite messy and quite silly. People call me a chaotic streamer. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm a nice, cozy, relaxed streamer, is how I refer to myself. Hello, Horab. Welcome in, welcome in. But that's nice. I'm glad to hear you guys had a great time. Thank you very much for the raid again. I'll have to check you out soon. Did I show you out? I did, didn't I? Yes, I did. Hello, Sir Knights Natsu. Thank you for the follow. No, don't poke me. No, don't. Claire. I'm getting raided by a person. Don't poke me in front of them. You're gonna embarrass me in front of my streamer friends. It's not fair. It's not nice. But I suppose I should do a quick little introduction to myself. Hi, Dulcet. Hello. It's nice to see you. I assume you may have been the one to suggest it. My name is Ruadh Uaquilta. I am a half-human, half-Tuatha. That is the god peoples of Ireland who lived here before the Gale arrived and, well, drove them to the other world. We actually just read the story of my, I was a member of the Fianna. Many long. Oh, I did actually. Yes, my apologies. I'm sorry. Oh no, that's bad. That's bad of me. I knew I recognized the name, but Yes, yeah. It might have been, I don't know when. It might have been very recent, or it might have been a while ago. You've been AFK, so you wasn't mad. Thank you, Hora, for the follow. Hi, D. Welcome in, welcome in. It's nice to see you. How's my favorite angel girl doing? If you guys don't know D, she's really cool. You changed your name after getting partnered. There's a lot of people called Maybe I'm getting poked again. You may have known by Fujal. I think that may be it. Who is Fujology? Some nerd, I bet, Horov. Some nerd. But did you only get partner recently? Congrats. When did you get partner? That's really cool. It's really cool seeing the tick next to your name. Do I have D's art? Where is it? Where's D's art? I'm just going to very quickly show you guys some lovely art done by my friend D, because it is gorgeous. She drew myself and her. Where is fan art D? There it is. And we're just going to admire it for a moment while you guys are here. Just last month. Oh, exciting. Congrats. That's a lot of hard work. I imagine that feeling of you gotta raid and run, you gotta get noms. No worries, go treat yourself after a long hard stream. Good job. Congrats on partner. Very cool. I know a lot of people who, like, they will they'll hit the requirements for partner, and the first time they go for it, they'll get it, and that's amazing. And then I know other people who just seem to be so unlucky when it comes to, they'll apply for partner 3 or 4 times, but they just can't seem to get it. I always wonder what that is about. I wonder, do they look at like a broad, or do they look at even more, or is it the type of content or something? I don't know. Amazing art. It really is. It is absolutely gorgeous. And you guys can commission D at NPC Demon at Blue Sky, and also find her on. She doesn't post on Twitch much, but you can find her on VGen, and you should commission her and get art of this. Like, guys, imagine if you had Fuji, but in this style of art. Imagine you had pretty Fuji, but like a tarot card. You playing Monster Hunter? Oh, I forgot. Dee told me that commissions are closed because Monster Hunter, which I think is fair, but you know, still go give my friend money. But if you guys want a cool commission, I'd highly recommend. But she might be busy. She might be a little bit busy. But I suppose I might get back into the reading what we're currently reading. And to give you I always take way too long with this. I usually do kind of reading ASMR streams. I do the odd traditional ASMR as well. But we're currently reading, and I usually read sort of philosophy, history, theology at times. I'm very much into that. And also mythology. What we're currently reading at the moment is Lady Augusta Gregory's Irish Myths and Legends, Gods and Fighting Men, which mainly deals with the Tuatha Dé, the god peoples of Ireland, and the Fianna, which we haven't gotten to the Fianna yet, but we've gotten kind of bits and pieces of them. We've gotten bits and pieces. We only just passed the story of my father from the Fianna, Cuilta Macronon, and his lover, the daughter of the dog of the Bove Durg, Scotney of, and their love that was never able to be proper. But, well, it produced me, didn't it? So, must have been at least somewhat good. You heard theology? I'm quite into it. At least I'm big into, I guess, classical theology. With a Thomistic blend. I know a few friends who are like actually, like, I don't want to say theologians, but like they studied theology in college and they're like actually really smart and very knowledgeable about that type of stuff. Not the wink. I'm getting better at it, aren't I? I can. Oh my god, I'm a pro today. I'm a pro today. Look at that. Not a double blink, not the eye glitching out and making it look like I'm having a seizure. No issues. We're piloting this model like I'm an expert. Model? What am I talking about? I'm literally a real person. You guys are looking at me right now. I'm 100% real. I just look like this. Thank you, Dee, for putting on my cloak. I was getting cold. Thank you, thank you. I suppose I should show, considering we got a pretty big raid. I also have the not called brat toggle. I feel like people wouldn't understand what that means. I'd have to put in the explanation as to what a brat is, but the brat is the Irish form of the cloak, often also known as the shaggy mantle. Then I have my Ianer, and I have my Lena underneath it. We'll put back on my cloak, my brat. The thesis you're writing included theology as well as poetics, philosophy, symbolic logic, and algebraic notations. Wow. Why? I'm kind of glad, in a way, that I like that I have on one side brain rot extraordinaires, such as Haru. And then I have people like Regnum, like Tallies. Then there's people like Nora, talking about BIAB, rest in the bun. It's too bad all the raiders are sleepy now. They're eeping, so we can't ask them about breast in the bun. And I want to get back to my reading. Let me just finish off this little chapter. I think I can go for another good while. So Corrigan had no chance but to go, and he set out with him, with his load. But he had a long way to travel before he could find the stone that would fit, and it is where he found one at last, on the shore of Loch Fairval. So then he left the body up on the nearest hill, and he went down and raised the stone and brought it up and dug a grave, and buried the Dagda's son, and it is many on Orkney. He gave when he was putting the stone over him, and when he had that done he was spent, and he dropped dead there and then. And the Dagda brought his two builders, Garvon and Nevale, to the place, and he bade them build a rath there, round the grave. It was Garvon cut the stones and shaped them, and ere Vale set them all round the house till the work was finished. And then he closed the top of the house with a slab, and the place was called the Hill of Ailach, that is, the Hill of Sighs and of the Stone, for it was the tears of the blood the dog does shed on account of the death of his son. No, Fox, I'm reading like a sad story of a godfather, not a godfather, but a god that is a father, like grieving his son, and you're just poking me in the face. Genzuki, you were hoping a picture of him would pop up and Ruadh would lose all focus. Okay, I suppose I should say to all of you new viewers, I am a big fan of Genzuki Tojiro. This person here, beautiful Niji Sanji, VTuber, Japanese, gorgeous voice, handsome model, very pretty. And that's all, because if I get talking about him, it could be not no, maybe, no, it worked. Okay, I got Pavloved there. I got Pavloved into showing an image of him. You just said it, and then you said what you wanted me to do, and it just worked. Is that even No, wait, no, I didn't want that. I didn't want to show it again. I don't even know how I did that. Okay. The Hill of Ailach. Is that... I think that might be one of the main northern Unail rats that eventually spring up, like one of the major towns in the north of Ireland during kind of the later periods. Because I imagine loads of these places are mentioning like actual castles and towns that existed at that time, kind of throughout the Middle Ages. Chapter 3, Angus Og. And as to Angus Og, son of the Dogda, sometimes he would come from Bruin the Boyne and let himself be seen upon the earth. It was a long time after the coming of the Gale that he was seen by Cormac, king of Tara, and this is the account he gave of him. He was by himself one day in his hall of judgment, for he used to be often reading the laws and thinking how he could best carry them out, and on a sudden he saw a stranger, a very comely young man, at the end of the hall, and he knew on the moment it was Angus Og. For he had often heard people talking of him, but he himself used to be saying he did not believe there was any such person at all. And when he came back to the hall, he told them how he had seen Angus himself and had talked with him, and Angus had told him his name and had foretold what would happen to him in the future. And he was a beautiful young man, he said, with high looks, and his appearance was more beautiful than all beauty, and there were ornaments of gold on his dress. In his hand he held a silver harp with strings of red gold, and the sound of its strings was sweeter than all music under the sky. Under the harps were two birds that seemed to be playing on it. He sat beside me pleasantly and played his sweet music to me. In the end he foretold things that put drunkenness on my wits. Oh, thank you, sunshine. The birds, now, that used to be with Angus were 4 of his kisses that turned into birds, that used to be coming about the young men of Ireland and crying after them. Come, come, 2 of them would say, and I go, the other 2 would say, and it was hard to get free of them. But as to Angus, even when he was in his young youth, he used to be called the Frightener or Disturber, for the plough teams of the world and every sort of cattle that is used by man would make away in terror of him. And one time he appeared in the shape of a landholder to 2 men, Reeve and Ocho, that were looking for a place to settle in. The first place they chose was near Brega, on a plain that was belonging to Angus. And it was then he came to them, leading his horse in his hand, and told them they should not stop there. And they said that they could not carry their goods away without horses. Then he gave them his horse, and bade them put all they had a mind to on that horse, and he would carry it. And so he did. But the next place they chose was Magfiend, the find place. The find place. Not the find place, the fine place. The fine plain. I'm really bad at reading, apparently. That was the playing ground of Angus and Medea. And that time Medea came to them in the same way, and gave them a horse to put their goods on. And he went on with them as far as Mag Darren. And there were many women loved Angus. And there was one, Angie, daughter of Elkmare, who loved him though she had not seen him. And she went on, one time, looking for him to the gathering for games between Cleotuch and Sheath and Broga. And the bright troops of the Sheed used to come to that gathering every Samhain evening, bringing a moderate share of food with them, that is, a nut. And the sons of Derek came from the north, out of Sheed Fiendabrook, and they went round about the young men and women without their knowledge, and they brought away Elkmare's daughter. There were great lamentations made then, and the name place got was Noguva, the nut lamentation, for the crying there was at that gathering. Hi, Pip. No, Pip, don't poke me. Don't poke me. I'm just trying to read, Pip, and you're just coming in here poking me in the face. I think this stream has been the most I've ever been assaulted and touched with all those headbats and all those pokes. There was too much. But hi, Pip, it's nice to see you. Where were we? Oh, yes. It's called Tough Love, buddy. I think one of the sad things about reading these types of stories is there's so many references and different stories and different names that it feels like it's like you should know who these people are, but we almost don't have the stories about them. There's so many people. Yeah, we got a few raids. We got a few raids today, and there's a lot of nice people. I think they're Eepin though. I think they're Eepy boys and girls, and they're tired and they want to go Eepies, and they're listening to me. And Daireen, Aekid Fairlock's daughter, was another that was loved by Angus, and she had 6 fosterlings, 3 boys and 3 girls. But the mother of the boys, Dalbgarb the Rough, put a spell on them that she made from a gathering of the nuts on Cael Ochid, that turned them into swine, and Angus gave them into the care of Buachacht, the Hospitaller of Leinster. And they stopped a year with him, but at the end of that time there came a longing on Buachacht's wife to eat a bit of the flesh of one of them. So she gathered 100 armed men and 100 hounds to take them. But the pigs made away, and went to Brunaboyne to Angus, and he bade them welcome, and they asked him to give them his help. But he said he could not do that till they had shaken the tree of Targba, and eaten the salmon of Inner Umail. So they went to Glascairn, and stopped a year in hiding with their bren, and then they shook the tree of Targbra, and they went on towards Inner Umail. But Maeve gathered the men of Connacht to hunt them, and they all fell but one, and their heads were put on a mound, and it got the name of Duma Selga, the mound of the hunting. And it was in the time of Maeve of Currachon that Angus set his love on Caer Ormeh, of the province of Connacht, and brought her away to Brunaboyne. Irish myths and legends are like VTuber lore and gossip. You totally get it if you knew them. I know. I like that. I like that explanation. Yeah, but it's just like that's kind of the thing. Like these chapters are just like, here's a character. Here's loads of stories all about them. Hello, Jinix now. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. I suppose while there's a lot of people here, I may just do a quick little, if you want to follow me on Twitter, if you want to join the Discord, you guys can do that, I suppose. You don't have to. You have to. There's a band of Fianna arriving very fast towards your location. You must accept. I may actually just very quickly go fill up my bottle of water because I can feel my throat is getting a little bit caught. That was the most peculiar way you've heard your name pronounced. I think I couldn't look at it fast enough, so I think I imagined an I between the N and X. So I didn't realize it was Jinx It Now. So I thought it was Jinx to now or something like that. Jinxed It Now. But I see it's Jinx It Now. But if you guys will give me but 2 moments, I will grab some water. Because any streamer will tell you it's very important to keep hydrated and keep your vocal cords lubricated. But especially when you're doing reading, it's kind of weird because you're very much focused on the way you're talking and trying to give a certain sound. It can take more of a toll on your voice quicker. But I will see you guys in just 2 minutes. I lied to you guys. It was not 2 minutes. It was less than 2 minutes. I'm sorry. I'll try not to lie to you anymore. Okay, there we go. Let me take a quick sip of water. Ooh, that was needed. That was very much needed. Okay, you lied to me. You want a divorce? No, wait. No, hang on. I didn't even know we were married. Oh no. No, don't take little Ruru away from me. Don't take Brua away from me. You can have the fire. You can have the fire. You can have my brat. Don't take Brua and little Ruru. They're important to me. Let us continue with our reading. You'll eat Brua? No, don't eat Brua. Don't eat Brua. I know he tastes good with some butter. I know he tastes good with some like proper Irish butter, but you can't eat Brua. He's a cute little guy. He's just staring. He's just sitting there. He's just toasty. He's just toasting by the fire. Also, he has eyes. You have to eat the eyes. Wait, thank you, Jinx, for the head pat. Very kind of you. You'll make French toast. Well, you know what? If he has to go, being made into French toast isn't the worst of ways. No, he deserves. You'll protect Brua. Thank you, Pip. I'm glad I have a violent maniac like you to look after Brua. Pip is like one of the sweetest people. But she's quite violent when she wants to be. Let's continue. Chapter 4. The Morrigu, or the Morrigan. As to the Morrigu, the great queen, the crow of battle, where she lived after the coming of the gale is not known, but before that time it was in Tara she lived, and she had a great cooking spit there that held 3 sorts of food on it at the one time, a piece of raw meat, and a piece of dressed meat, and a piece of butter, And the raw was dressed, and the dressed was not burned, and the butter did not melt, and the three together on the spit. 9 men that were outlaws went to her one time, and asked for a spit to be made for themselves, and they brought it away with them, and it had 9 ribs in it. And every one of the outlaws would carry a rib in his hand wherever he would go, till they would all meet together at the close of the day. And if they wanted the spit to be high, it could be raised to a man's height, and at another time it would not be more than the height of a fist over the fire, without breaking and without lessening. You can see how much of their stuff is like around food and like utensils and these wonderful artifacts that can do multiple things all at once. And Mechi, the son of the Morrigu, had... Sorry, that's a weird sentence. And Mechi, the son of the Morrigu, had... I'm really confused, hang on. And Mechi, the son the Morrigu had, was killed by Makeki of on Magmechi, that till that time had been called Magfiertig. Thank you, the goddess Devon. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Hello, Mama. Hello. Hi, Inca. Can't stay for long because you slept for 40 extra minutes this morning, but hope you have a lovely stream. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. It's nice to see you. Magwat of Magwat now. I understand. So Morrigu's son, named Mechi, was killed by Mac Kechi on Mag Fuertig, but then, after the death of the Morgu's son, became known as Mag Mechi. That's a little bit confusing. For those of you who are new, though, Inca underscore VT. That's the wonderful lady who made my model. Mac Merkig, Mag Morkig, huh? It's okay, Mike. No, relax, Mike. Relax. Calm down. You're gonna blow your brain. The more. Oh. And if Meki had not met with his death, those serpents in him would have grown, and what they left alive in Ireland would have wasted away. And Macecht burned the 3 hearts on Mag Lutnad, the plains of ashes, and he threw the ashes into the stream, and the rushing of the water of the stream stopped and boiled up, and every creature in it died. See, there's this story here of the son of the Morrigu having 3 serpents in him, and 3 hearts of these creatures that could kill everything apparently. But it was stopped. But like, we don't have the full story here. It's just a point. You'll have to do an Irish teaching show. Maybe I'd have to improve my Irish a lot to be able to do that. Where were we? Oh, yeah. The Morrigu used often to be meddling in Ireland in Cuchulain's time, stirring up wars and troubles. It was she came and roused up Cuchulain one time when he was but a lad, and was near giving in to some enchantment that was used against him. "There is not the making of a hero in you," she said to him, "and you lying there under the feet of shadows." And with that, Cuchulain rose up and struck off the head of a shadow that was standing over him with his hurling stick. And the time Crohur was sending out Finched to rouse up the men of Ulster at the time of the war for the Bull of Coolina, he bade him go to that terrible fury, the Morrigu, to get help for Cuchulain. And she had a dispute with Cuchulain one time he met her, and she bringing away a cow from the hill of Cruachan, and another time she helped Talkenem, a druid of the household of Conair Moor, to bring away a bull his wife had set on her mind. And indeed she was given much to meddling with cattle. Thank you very much, Lixian Lixian is Redcoat. I'm not too sure how that's breaking down, but thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. I recognize many of these stories, by the way. I think this is sort of like meant to be almost a collection of like, here's all the stories of this character in one, like, kind of quick throw. And if you want to read more of them, you throw them. The second option is the correct one. Lixian is Redcoat, or Lixanius Redcoat. I don't remember what I said was the second option. I'm sorry. One time she brought away a cow from Ordras that was of the household of the cow chief of Cormac Huaquinid, and that was going after her husband with cattle. And the Morrigu brought the cow away with her to the cave of Crochan and the hill of the Sheath, and Odrus followed her there till sleep fell on her in an oak wood of Folga, and the Morrigu awoke her and sang spells over her, and made of her a pool of water that went to the river that flows to the west of Slieve Buin. And in the battle of Magrath, she fluttered over Congal Clan in the shape of a bird, till he did not know friend from foe. And after that, again at the battle of Cloantarv, she was flying over the hill of Morkid, son of Brian, for she had many shapes, and it was in the shape of a crow she would sometimes fight her battles. And if it was not the Morrigu, it was Bave that showed herself in the battle of Doonbolg, where the men of Ireland were fighting under Ide, son of Niall, and Bridget was seen in the same battle on the side of the men of Leinster. Lixian is Redcoat, and if you don't mind, I'm going to use your stream to sleep. That's totally fine, Lixian. That's kind of what the stream is meant to be for. I got you though, Lixian. That's a very nice name, I like it. Thank you very much for the hydrate and the stretch redeem. Hello, Diamandits. PP, of course, you would just come into my stream and request a trigger word like PP. How are you doing, Dia? How you doing? Hang on, let me just do a quick shout out for my friend Dia. Dia recently did his first ASMR stream, everyone. He did it for April Fools, but he actually did a really great job. Now, I listened to a little bit of it, quite a bit of it actually. I went to sleep to it. But I heard that at one point he choked people. So I'm a little bit concerned on that one, but I'm sure it was the comfiest choking that has ever occurred. Or was it that he kidnapped? Did you kidnap people, Dia? I don't know which one it was, but you did one of the two. You did one of the two, I think. You were putting people in a bag? Oh, I see. So you were kidnapping them. I see. Oh, no. I see. That's how you were choking them. You were putting a plastic bag over the head. It was a latex glove you had. Even better. But it's nice to see you, Dia. Thank you for stopping by. Let me do So yeah, this is kind of a weird chapter, because it's really just a load of, like, short excerpts of stories. It goes on for quite a while. Let me have a look. How long this goes on for. The ever-living ones. Oh my god, it goes for ages. It goes for like another... What page are we on? We're on page 75. It goes on for like another 50 pages. Whew. Oh, then we have the last book, The Children of Lear, which I think is quite cool. But it looks like it gets to... Yeah, once it gets to page 88, it gets to Manannán, the sea god, essentially. The Irish kind of sea god. It looks like it really focuses a lot on him and has many stories about him. So that's pretty cool. You don't know, you were improvising. Your trigger word, though. Okay. PP. 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 P. 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 PP. I hope you're welcome. I hope you're welcome for embarrassing myself like that in front of all of the viewers. Yay. Mm. It's helping you calm down. All well, I'm glad, I suppose. Chapter 5. Aina. And as to Aina, that some said was a daughter of Manannán, but some said was the Morrigu herself, there was a stone belonging to her that was called Caharena, and if anyone would sit on it, he would be in danger of losing his wits, and anyone that would sit on it 3 times would lose them forever. And people whose wits were astray would make their way to it, and mad dogs would come from all parts of the country, and would flock around it, and they would go out into the sea to Aina's place there. But those that did cures by herbs said she had the power over the whole body, and she used to give gifts of poetry and of music, and she often gave her love to men, and they called her the Lenan Sheath, the sweetheart of the Sheath. And it was no safe thing to offend Aina, for she was very vengeful. Oliam, a king of Ireland, killed her brother one time, and it is what she did. She made a great yew tree by enchantment beside the river Meg in Lumanach, and she put a little man in it, playing some sweet music on a harp. And Alial's son was passing the river with his stepbrother, and they saw the tree and heard the sweet music from it. And first they quarrelled as to which of them would have the little harper. Then they quarrelled about the tree, and they asked the judgment from Alial, and he gave it for his own son. And it was the bad feeling about that judgment that led to the battle of Mag Morquiva, and Alial and his 7 sons were killed there, and so Aina got her revenge. I'm sorry, hang on. There's a lot of context missing in this specific story. Like, these are already kind of short stories of these characters, of these mythological characters. But no, a little man in a tree being like the king choosing to put his own son first when taking the little man in the tree, leading to a battle where all him and his 7 sons died. I feel like I need a little bit more explanation as to what caused that. How did the little man in the tree cause the war? Who knows? Chapter 6. Evel. We need the full tea. Oh yeah, people call tea like stories. I kind of like that a little bit. I like the idea of it, like, you'd be telling stories over tea. Evel, another woman of the Sheath, made her dwelling place in Craglea, and at the time of the battle of Cluantarv, she set her love on a young man of Munster, Dúling ua Artigan, that had been sent away in disgrace by the King of Ireland. But before the battle he came back to join with Mirka, the king's son, and to fight for the Gael. And Evel came to stop him, and when he would not stop with her, she put a druid covering about him, the way no one could see him. And he went where Mirka was fighting, and he made a great attack on the enemies of Ireland, and struck them down on every side. And Mirka looked around him, and he said, "It seems to me I hear the sound of the blows of Dúling ua Artigan, but I do not see him myself." Then Dúling, I think that's how you pronounce it actually, Dúling, threw off the druid covering that was about him and said, "I will not keep this covering upon me when you cannot see me through it. And come now across the plain to where Evel is," he said, "for she can give us news of the battle." So they went where she was, and she bade them both to quit the battle. for they would lose their lives in it. But Murka said to her, I will tell you a little story, a little true story. That fear for my own body will never make me change my face. And if we fall, he said, the strangers will fall with us, and as many a man will fall by my hand, and the gale will be sharing their strong places. Stop with me, Duvlain, she said then, and you will have 200 years of happy life with myself. I will not give up. I will not give up on Murcha, he said, or my own good name, for silver or gold. And there was anger on Eavail when he said that. And she said, Murcha will fall, and you yourself will fall, and your proud blood will be the plain tomorrow. And they went back into battle and got their death there. It was Eavail gave a golden harp to the son of Mirva, the time he was getting his learning at the school of the Sheath in Connacht, and that he heard his father had got his death by the king of Lochlann. And whoever heard the playing of that harp would not live long after it, and Mirva's son went where the 3 sons of the king of Lochlann were, and played on his harp for them, and they died. I love how sometimes the short stories just make it humorous. Like, there was this guy, he had a magical harp that could kill people. His father was killed by the king of Lochlann, so he went and played the harp for his 3 children, and he died. And they died. Lamau, get wrecked. It was that harp that Cuchulainn heard the time his enemies were gathering against him at Mirthama, and he knew by it that his life was near at hand. What's going on? Is my stream still up? Yeah, sorry. Sorry, everyone. On my end, it looked like it was going bad for a second. But I think it's all okay. Chapter 7. Midir and Etain. Midir took a hill for himself, and his wife, Fuamach, was there with him, and his daughter, Bree, and Leith, son of Caelcar, of Coolú, was the most beautiful among the young men of the Sheath of Ireland at that time, and he loved Bree. And Bree went out with her young girls to meet him one time at the grave of the daughters beside Tara, and Leith came and his young men along with him, till he was on the hill of the after repentance, and they could not come closer to one another, because of the slingers on Midir's hill, that were answering one another till their spears were as many as a swarm of bees on a day of beauty. And Cochlan, Leith's servant, got a sharp wound from them, and he died. Are they battling? Is that what's happening, or? Could not come closer. Slingers of Midir's hill that were answering one another till their spears. Maybe they're at war or something. Then the girl turned back to Midir's hill, and her heart broke in her, and she died. And Leith said, Although I am not let come to this girl, I will leave my name with her. And the hill was called Bree Leith from that time. While Midir took Etain Éacra to be his wife, and there was after a while, Midir took Etain Éacra to be his wife, and there was great jealousy on Fuamach, the wife he had before, when she saw the love that Midir gave to Etain, and she called to the druid Bressil at Aethelum to help her, and he put spells on Etain, the way a Fuamach was able to drive her away. And when she was driven out of Bree Leith, Angus Og, son of the Dagda, took her into his keeping, and when Midir asked her back, he would not give her up, but he brought her about with him to every place he went, and wherever they rested, he made a sunny house for her, and put sweet-smelling flowers in it, and he made invisible walls about it, that no one could see through, and that could not be seen. But when news came to Fuamok that Etain was so well cared by Angus, anger and jealousy came on her again, and she searched her mind for a way to destroy Etain altogether. And it is what she did. She persuaded Medea and Angus to go out and meet one another and to make peace, for there had been a quarrel between them ever since the time Etain was sent away. And when Angus was away from Brún the Boyne, Fuamok went and found Etain there in her sunny house, and she turned her with druid spells into a fly, and then she sent a blast of wind into the house that swept her away through a window. It's like a Disney story. Needed a sip of water. Toxic much, dude? Imagine your like ex, your like boyfriend's ex was able to turn you into a fly. She's literally like, would he love me if I was a worm? No, how about would he love you if you were a fly, if you were a blue bottle? Oh, too bad, you'll never find out. Bye. And then she just sends you away on a bunch of wind. But as to Medea and Angus, they waited a while for Fuamok to come and join them. And when she did not come, they were uneasy in their mind. And Angus hurried back to Brún the Boyne, and when he found the sunny house empty, he went in search of Fuamok. And it was along with Aetherlum, the druid, he found her, and he struck her head off there and then. And for 7 years Etain was blown to and fro through Ireland in great misery, and at last she came to the house of Atar of Inner Caechman, where there was a feast going on, and she fell from a beam of the roof into the golden cup that was beside Atar's wife, and Atar's wife drank her down and with the wine, and at the end of 9 months she was born again as Atar's daughter. And she had the same name as before, Etain. And she was reared as the king's daughter, and there were 50 young girls, daughters of princes, brought up with to keep her company. And it happened one day, Etain and all the rest of the young girls were out bathing in the bay at Inver Caechman, and they saw from the water a man with very high looks, coming towards them over the plain, and he riding a bay horse with mane and tail curled. A long green cloak he had on him, and a shirt woven with threads of red gold, and a brooch of gold that reached across to his shoulders on each side, and he had on his back a shield of silver with rim of gold. Thank you, Faded Wolf, for the follow. With rim of gold and a boss of gold. And in his hand a sharp pointed spear covered with rings of gold, from heel to socket. Fair yellow hair he had, coming over his forehead, and had bound with a golden band to keep it from loosening. I'm gonna be honest, are you guys kind of picturing him kind of like in my clothing? I know it's a little bit different, exactly, but like, you know, the brooch from shoulder to shoulder. I know brooches would be a little bit different, but the way my mama did the brooch, is a sort of clasp with these like metal bands going off of it. I still think are so cool. Sometimes I wonder if I should have it be gold too, but I don't know. I think I have enough gold on me. Could be a neat little toggle, because I can toggle the no. How did you know? I can toggle. How do I do it again? Oh yeah, I can toggle my rings. Get out of your head. No. Oh no, I'm in your head. Like gift wrapping? Yeah, you can gift wrap me. I think I found my... At least this is an actual story. This is like a long story. And when he came near them, he got down from his horse and sat down on the bank, and it is what he said. It is here Attain is today, at the mound of fair women. It is among little women, or little children is her life on the strand of inner Caicmain. It is she healed the eye of the king from the well of Loch Dagleague. It is she was swallowed in a heavy drink by the wife of Attar. Many great battles will happen for your sake to Aechid of Meath. Destruction will fall upon the sheath, and war on the thousands of men. And when he had said that, he vanished, and no one knew where he went. And they did not know the man that had come to them was Midir of Brilea. And when Attain was grown to be a beautiful young woman, she was seen by Aechid Féadlach, High King of Ireland, and this is the way it happened. He was going one time over the fair green of Brilea, and he saw at the side of the well a woman with a bright comb of gold and silver, and she washing it in a silver basin having 4 golden birds on it, and little bright purple stones set in the rim of the basin. A beautiful purple cloak she had, and silver fringes to it, and a gold brooch, and she had on her a dress of green silk with a long hood, embroidered in red gold, and wonderful clasps of gold and silver on her breasts and on her shoulder. The sunlight was falling on her, so that the gold and the green silk were shining out. 2 plaits of her hair she had, 4 locks in each plait, and a bead at a point of every lock, and the colour of her hair was like yellow flags in summer, or like red gold after it is rubbed. There she was, letting her hair down to wash it, and her arms out through the sleeve holes of her shirt. Her soft hands were as white as the snow of a single night, her eyes as blue as any blue flower, and her lips as red as the berries of the rowan tree, and her body as white as the foam of a wave. The bright light of the moon was in her face, the highness of pride in her eyebrows, a dimple of delight in each of her cheeks, the light of wooing in her eyes. And when she walked, she had a step that was steady and even, like the walk of a queen. Good Lord, she sounds gorgeous. And Aechid sent his people to bring her to him, and he asked her her name, and she told him her name was Attain, daughter of Attar, king of the riders of the Sheath. And Aechid gave her his love, and he paid the bride price, and brought her home to Tara as his wife, and there was a great welcome before her there. And after a while there was a great feast made at Tara, and all the chief men of Ireland came to it, and it lasted from the fortnight before Samhain to the fortnight after it. And King Aechid's brother Eliel, that was afterwards called Eliel Ainglanoch of the Only Fault, came to the feast. And when he saw his brother's wife Attain, he fell in love with her on the moment, and all through the length of the feast he was not content unless he could be looking at her. And a woman, the daughter of Lucta Lamdaig of the Red Hand, took notice of it, and she said, "What fair thing are you looking at, Eliel? It is what I think, that to be looking the way you are doing is a sign of love." Then Eliel checked himself, and did not look towards Attain any more. He checked himself before he wrecked himself. Fortnite Battle Pass? No, shut up, Nora. No. I never played Fortnite. I was watching Kaz play a little bit of it. Actually, I have to admit, it looks quite fun. It looks very fun. It doesn't look like he's playing like a building mode. Like, they're just playing the shooty mode. That does look fun. Infidelity between siblings. What a moment. No. Oh, sorry. I read the word wrong. I had the wrong mind. I had the other I word between siblings that people seem to like a lot in mind for a second. But yes, infidelity between siblings. Quite the moment to click on the stream. But hello, Halconis. It's nice to see you. How you doing, everyone? Halconis Buonati is a very nice streamer, and I would highly recommend you guys check him out. You know, I had a little bit of that funny game people like, or the TV show. I think it's a game, the something of Andy and whatever. Yeah, wrong I word. Hope you're doing well though, Halconis. We're doing a long kind of reading today. I'll probably keep going for another maybe Andy and Lele. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I never played that either, to be honest. Hello, Gusto. It's nice to see you. How you doing, Gusto? How you doing? It's always a pleasure. A Ruadh reading stream is always a good time. We're learning the story of Atane, of Medir and Atane. Gusto. Eepy. Aw, poor Gusto. Eepy boy. Eepy baby. What an eepy little baby. Hippo. Whenever I see you say that, like, Haru, I always think of like hippo. Pippo is just Pip is a big hippo. Which is mean. Please. Boss, go drown. Okay, fine. I guess you can hear my voice is starting to go a little bit. Hello, Pip. Hello, Haru. Hello, Nora. Don't say that. I know, don't worry, don't worry. Hippos are cool, though. Hippos are really dangerous, you know? Hippos are like one of the most dangerous animals around. They will, well, you know, they'll go after anything. Except like they might go after an elephant, but they're not going to win against an elephant. Elephants are very dangerous. But they're incredibly territorial. Fascinating with it being a one-woman project. Love works of passion like that. What if you hug the hippo, though? Pip, you could try that. I'm not saying you couldn't. I'm just saying it probably wouldn't go well. You know, I saw a video of a watermelon being crushed by a hippo's mouth before. I think that's what would happen to your head. So I would be very careful of the hippo. Hello, Haley. It's nice to see you. How Ruru and Everynyan? We're doing pretty good, I think. We're getting a lot of reading done. Andy and Lele is actually good. If you remove their chemistry, it's actually like okay. I actually really like the art style. It looks really nice. I remember a friend of mine, Son Alvionis. He did some art in that art style, and it looked. I can't remember who he did it for. I think he did it for his Oshi. One of his like favorite VTubers. But it's a really nice art style. How have you been? I've been pretty good. I've been doing pretty good. You think the Greeks considered hippos to be more deadly than even lions? Not too sure about. No, that makes total sense because hippos will be more than happy to kill your ass. Hippos will chase you and they will catch you and they will kill you. Like, and the thing is, I have a feeling that like, you know, the Greeks probably wouldn't fuck with herds of hippos because they know that like, you know, they're gonna have a tough time killing them. Hippos are cute. They are cute. They are cute. I just wouldn't mess with the adult ones, the wild ones. They would eat you. Or at the very least, they'll chomp your ass. Lions, too big, cat. I assume you mean cat, but I want to pet a cat, a big cat. I want to pet a tiger. I want to pet a tiger. I want to pet a lion. I want to pet a leopard. I want to pet a snow leopard. I want to pet a jaguar. I want to pet a cheetah. I want to pet a... Have you seen Gloria from Madagascar? What a woman. What a hippo. Cat fact. There are 100 distinct breeds of the domestic cat. You love snow leopards? Haru's a big. Snow leopards are really cool. Snow leopards are really, really cool. I love snow versions of any animal, like the rabbit, the snow rabbit. I'm sure they have a name, but like the white rabbits, they're really cool. Or like the white foxes. To be very dangerous to humans, they're entirely vegetarian, so they definitely don't see the duckling as anything other than a little creature in distress. Maybe, but yeah, they're very dangerous. But yeah, maybe if you're a little duckling, they'll be nice to you, Pip. You were around a lion when it roared in the zoo, and they really do shake the ground when they roar. Oh yeah, I can only imagine. I never got to experience that, but I can imagine that you really feel it in the chest, like it's not like you feel it in your body. If not friend, then why friend shaped? Exactly. Humans were put on this earth to pet all the things. To pet all the things. We can literally pet like sharks. If a shark goes for us, we just spin them around on their heads. We just turn them around like idiots and then we pet them. But let us finish the story of Atane. So, for those of you who missed it, Atane was a beautiful woman. She married Midir, who had previously been married to Fuamuk, and Fuamuk drove her out of Midir's house, and she ran to Angus Og, where he gave her shelter and a quality life. And once Fuamuk found out about this, she went over to Atane. She tricked Midir and Angus Og, and then turned Atane into a fly. Atane eventually fell into a wine glass that was drank by Atar's wife, and was born and was named Atane again, and now she is even more beautiful, or well, truly beautiful. I feel like what's happening actually is you have a woman of the sheath who was turned into a fly and now is in the human world and has been born into the human world, so she is beautiful. Like, she is beautiful among the sheath, but must be the most beautiful woman of all of Ireland. But now Midir has arrived again, and there's some things going on. Exclusively a mythological tale, right? Or partly based on history, like King Arthur. Who knows? Who knows who these characters might be based off of? It's 100% fact, by the way. It's 100% fact. I'll have you know. But when the feast was at an end and the gathering broke up, great desire and envy came on Alil, so that he fell sick, and they brought him to a house in Tefia, and he stopped there. Through the length of a year, and he was wasting away, but he told no one the cause of his sickness. At the end of the year, Eachwyd came to visit his brother, and he passed his hand over his breast, and Alil let out a groan. "What way are you?" said Eachwyd then. "Are you getting any easier? But you must not let this illness come to a bad end." "By my word, Alil," said Alil, "it is not easier I am, but worse and worse every day and every night." "What is it ails you?" said Eachwyd. "What is it that is coming against you?" "By my word, I cannot tell you that," said Alil. "I will bring one here that will know the cause of your sick—" Oh, that was the king. "I will bring one here that will know the cause of your sickness," said the king. With that he sent Factna, his own physician, to Alil. When he came, he passed his hand over Alil's heart, and at that he groaned again. "This sickness will not be your debt," said Factna. "Then," he said, "and I know well what it comes from. It is either from the pains of jealousy, or from love you have given, that you have not found a way out of." But there was shame on Alil, and he would not confess to the physician that what he said was right. So Factna went away and left him. You've heard its myths and legends? No, don't say that. Don't say the name of the book. It's history, yeah. I literally remember, I remember being told this stuff happening 1800 years ago. As to King Eachwyd, he went away to visit all the provinces of Ireland that were under his kingship, and he left Atane after him. And it is what he said. Good Atane, he said, take tender care of Ailill so long as he is living, and if he should die from us, make a sodded grave for him, and raise a pillar of stone over it, and write his name on it in Ogham. And with that he went away on his journey. One day, Atane went into the house where Ailill was lying in his sickness, and they talked together, and then she made him a little song. And it is what she said. What is it ails you, young man? For it is a long time you were wasted with this sickness. It is not the hardness of the weather has stopped your light footstep. And Ailill answered her in the same way, and he said, I have a good cause for my hurt. The music of my own harp does not please me. There is no sort of food is pleasant to me, and so I am wasted away. Then Atane said, Tell me what it is that ails you, for I am a woman that is wise. Tell me, is there anything that would cure you, the way I may help you to it? And Ailill answered, Oh, kind, beautiful woman, it is not good to tell a secret to a woman, but sometimes it may be known through the eyes. And Atane said, Though it is bad to tell a secret, yet it ought to be told now, or how can help be given to you? And Ailill answered, My blessings on you, fair-haired Atane. It is not fit I am to be spoken with. My wits have been no good help to me. My body is a rebel to me. All Ireland knows. O king's wife, there is sickness in my heart, or in my head and in my body. And Atane said, If there is a woman of the fair-faced women of Ireland tormenting you this way, she must come to you here if it pleases you, and it is I myself will woo her for you. Damn, what a wing woman! What a wing woman! The doctor is probably so exasperated. Like, no, you're not sick. No, love sickness is not a real sickness. Yeah, he's like really tempted to throw a big bucket of water on him, but he's also like, the king's brother, and he's like, ah, shit, I can't really do that. I'd get like executed. Then Ailill said to her, Woman, it would be easy for yourself to put my sickness from me, and my desire is a desire that is as long as a year, but it is a love given to an echo, the spending of grief on a wave, a lonely fight with a shadow. That is what my love and my desire has been to me. And it is then that Atane knew what was the sickness that was on him. There was a heavy trouble on her. But she came to him every day to tend him, and to make ready his food, and to pour water over his hands, and all she could do for him. For it was a grief to her, he to wither away and to be lost for her sake. And at last one day she said to him, Oh my, rise up, Ailill, son of a king, man of high deeds, and I will do your healing. Then he put his arms about her, and she kissed him, and she said, Come at the morning of tomorrow at the break of day to the house outside the dune, and I will give you all your desire. That's how you get a ladies, guys. That's how you get a lady. Just pretend to be sick for a year and guilt trip her into cheating. I wouldn't be taking this advice. That night, Ailill lay without sleep until the morning was at hand. At the very time he should have risen to go to her. It was at that time his sleep settled down upon him, and he slept on till the full light of day. No! Ailill, what are you doing, my man? You know what? No, actually, that's a good thing. Don't cheat. But Atane went to the house outside the dune, and she was not long there when she saw a man coming towards her, having the appearance of Ailill, Ah, seems like it was some sort of a enchantment, perhaps. Sick and tired and worn. But when he came near and she looked closely at him, she saw it was not a leal that was in it. Then he went away, and after she had waited a while, she herself went back into the dune. It was then Leal woke, and when he knew the morning had passed by, he would sooner have had death than life, and he fretted greatly. And Atane came in then, and he told her what had happened to him, and she said, "Come tomorrow to the same place." "Dad, you're alive." Happy. Hello, Triscuits. Welcome in, welcome in. One thing that always fascinates you from these myths is how the characters tend to speak so well articulate and parsimonious. Many of them are like kings and queens and princesses and princes and well educated. How doing? I'm doing pretty good. We're right coming to the end. I think once we finish this story, we'll probably be, okay. Yeah, once we finish the story, we'll probably wrap it up for today. But doing pretty good. Hope you're doing well, Triscuits. But the same thing happened the day after, and when it happened on the third day, and the same man came to meet Atane, she said to him, "It is not you at all I come to meet here. And why is it that you come to meet me?" "And as to him I came to meet," she said, "indeed it is not for gain of through lightness I bade him come to me, but to heal him of the sickness that is lying under from my sake." The man said, "It would be more fitting for you to come to meet me than any one other. For in the time long ago," he said, "I was your first husband, and your first man." "What is it you are saying?" she said, "and who are you yourself?" "It is easy to tell that," he said. "I am a deer, Brilea." And what parted us if I was your wife?" said Atane. "It was through Fuamok's sharp jealousy and through spells of Bressel Ethelum, the druid, we were parted. And will you come away with me now?" he said. But Atane said, "It is not for a man whose kindness is unknown I will give up the High King of Ireland." And Medea said, "Surely it was I myself that put great desire for you on Ailil, and it was I hindered him from going to meet you, the way you might come to keep your good name." And when she came back to Ailil's house, she found his sickness was gone from him, and his desire, and she told him all that had happened, and he said, "It has turned out well for us both. I am well of my sickness, and your good name is not lessened. We gave thanks to our gods for that. For we are well pleased to have it." And just at that time, Aequid came back from his journey, and they told him the whole story, and he was thankful to his wife for the kindness she had shown Ailil. Will he oversleep 3 times? He did oversleep 3 times. They were the creme de la creme. It was a good while after that. There was a great fair held at Tara, and Atane came out on the green looking at the games and the races, and she saw a rider coming towards her, but no one could see him but herself, and when he came near she saw he had the same appearance as the man that came and spoke with her and her young girls. That time they were out in the sea at Inver Caechman, and when he came up to her, he began to sing words to her that no one could hear but herself, and it is what he said. "O beautiful woman, will you come with me to the wonderful country that is mine? It is pleasant to be looking at the people there, beautiful people without any blemish. Their hair is the colour of the flag flower. Their fair body is as white as snow. The colour of the foxglove is on every cheek. The young never grow old there. The fields and the flowers are as pleasant to be looking at as the blackbird's eggs. Warm, sweet streams of mead and wine flow through that country. There is no care and no sorrow, or any person we see others, but we ourselves are not seen. Hi, Hyper Ace. It's nice to see you. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Kind of just finishing up a story, and then we'll be raiding off into someone. Talking about Tir na Nog. Though the plains of Ireland are beautiful, it is little you would think of them after our great plain. Though the ale of Ireland is heady, the ale of the great country is still more. O beautiful woman, if you come to my proud people, it is the flesh of pigs newly killed I will give you for food. It is ale and new milk I will give you for drink. It is feasting you will have with me there. It is a crown of gold you will have upon your hair. O beautiful woman. And will you come there with me, Atan? He said. But Atan said she would not leave Eachwyd, the High King. Will you come if Eachwyd gives you leave? Midir said then. I will do that, said Atan. Just back from a concert. Ooh, I hope you had fun at the concert. Was it cool? Was there a lot of cool singing and bouncing and dancing and maybe a little bit of fighting? Not fighting, but like, mosh pit stuff. We have a sip of water. It was amazing. Oh, that's great to hear, Ace. I'm glad you had a fun time. How many more pages do I have left to go? One, two. Okay, we're almost done. You went to see a band called Godsmack? Hell yeah, that sounds fun. I'll have to check them out. One day after that time, Eachwyd, the High King, was looking out from the palace at Tara, and he saw a strange man coming across the plain. Yellow hair he had, and eyes blue and shining like the flame of a candle, and purple dress on him, and in his hand a 5-pronged spear, and a shield having gold knobs on it. He came up to the king, and the king bade him welcome. Who are you yourself? He said, and what are you come for? For you are a stranger to me. If I am a stranger to you, you are no stranger to me, for I have known you a long time, said the strange man. What is your name? Said the king. It is nothing very great. I am called Midir of Brilea. What is it that brings you here? Said Eachwyd. I am come to play a game of chess with you, said the stranger. Are you a good player? Oh, are you a good player? Said the king. A trial will tell you that, said Midir. The chessboard is in the queen's house, and she is in her sleep at this time, said Eachwyd. That is no matter, said Midir, for I have with me a chessboard as good as your own. And with that he brought out his chessboard, and it made of silver and precious stones shining at every corner of it. And then he brought out the chessmen, and they made of gold from a bag that was shining of gold, of shining gold threads. Let us play now, said Midir. I will not play without a stake, said the king. What stake shall we play for? Said Midir. We can settle that. We can settle that after the game is over, said the king. They played together then, and Midir was beaten, and it is what the king asked of him, 50 brown horses to be given to him. And then they played a second time, and Midir was beaten again, and this time the king gave him hard things to do, to make a road over Moin Laura, and to clear Meath of stones, and to cover the district of Tetra with rushes, and the district of Darbrech with trees. So Midir brought his people from Brilea to do these things, and it is hard work they had them doing. And Eachwyd used to be watching them, and he took notice that when the men of the sheath yoked their oxen, it was by the neck and the shoulders they used to yoke them, and not by the forehead and the head. And it was after Eachwyd taught his people to yoke them that way, he was given the name of Eachwyd Éireann, that is, of the plough. And when all was done, Medea came to Aequid again, looking thin and wasted enough with the dint of the hard work he had been doing, and he asked Aequid to play a third game with him. Aequid agreed, and it was settled as before, the stake to be settled by the winner. But it was Medea won that time. And when the king asked him what he wanted, he said, "It is Atene, your wife, I want." "I will not give you to her. I will not give her to you," said the king. "All I will ask then," said Medea, "is to put my arms around her and to kiss her once." "You may do that," said the king, "if you will wait to the end of the month." So Medea agreed to that, and went away from that time. At the end of the month he came back again, and stood in the great hall of Tara, and no one had ever seen him looking so comely as he did that night. And Aequid had all his best fighting men gathered in the hall, and he shut all the doors of the palace when he saw Medea come in, for fear he would try to bring away Atene by force. "I am come to be paid what is due to me," said Medea. "I have not been thinking of it up to this time," said Aequid, and there was anger on him. "You promised me Atene, your wife," said Medea. The redness of shame came on Atene when she heard that. But Medea said, "Let there be no shame on you, Atene, for it is through the length of a year I have been asking your love, and I have offered you every sort of treasure and riches, and you refuse to come to me till such a time as your husband will give you leave." "It is true I said that," said Atene. "I will go if Aequid gives me up to you." "I will not give you up," said Aequid. "I will let him do no more than put his arms about you in this place, as was promised him." "I will do that," said Medea. With that he took his sword with his left hand, and he took Atene in his right arm, and he kissed her. All the armed men in the house made a rush at him then, but he rose up through the roof, bringing Atene with him, and when they rushed out of the house to follow him, all they could see was two swans high up in the air, linked together by a gold chain. There was great anger on Aequid then, and he went and searched through all of Ireland. But there were no tidings of them to be had, for they were in the house of the Sheath. It was to the brew of Angus on the Boyne they went first, and after they had stopped there a while they went to a hill of the Sheath in Connacht, and there was a serving maid with Atene at that time. Crowderg was her name, and she said to Medea, "Is this your own place we are in?" "It is not," said Medea. "My own place is nearer to the rising of the sun." She was not well pleased to stop there when she heard that, and Medea said to quiet her, "It is your own name will be put on this place from this point out," and the hill was called the Hill of Croaghaun from that time. Croaghaun, I'm pretty sure, is one of the main, another one of the most important settlements of kind of medieval Ireland. Then they went to Brilea, and Atene's daughter Essa came to them there, and she brought 100 of every sort of cattle with her, and Medea fostered her for 7 years, and all through that time Aequid the High King was making a search for them. But at last Codal of the withered breast took 4 rods of yew, and wrote omes on them, and through them and through his enchantments he found out that Atene was with Medea in Brilea. So Aequid went there and made an attack on the place, and he was for 9 years besieging it, and Medea was driving him away, and then his people began digging through the hill, and when they were getting near to where Atene was, Medea sent 3 times 20 beautiful women, having all of them the same appearance of Atene, and he bade the king choose her out from among them. And the first he chose was his own daughter Essa. But then Atene called to him, and he knew her. and he brought her home to Tara. And Aechid gave her daughter Essa her choice of a place to herself, and she chose. Apologies, I had to check something real quick. Okay, back to the story. I kind of like that. It kind of suggests that the king of Aechid, he was looking at all these women, all these with the same appearance as his wife, as this beautiful woman. And I suppose in a sense of maybe it was, you thought that was you? You thought what was you? Oh, you thought the was that actually your phone? Did I go silent? Did I go silent, or did I accidentally leave my microphone on? Uh-oh. You did go silent. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's good. That's good. Okay. You heard the ping. Oh, I think that might have been your phone then. Because mine didn't do a ping. Maybe you heard something similar, though. Maybe it was something similar. Just good timing. Where was we? Oh yeah, I kind of like that. Like, it kind of suggests that like he has all this love in his heart, which I imagine he must do if he's traveling all around. But he picks out his daughter. I suppose maybe in a sense then Etain sort of looks at that as like his love is so strong that he can pick out his daughter from among this massive group. More like a vibrate. Maybe it was. Maybe it was something weird when I. Maybe it was like when I came back. I don't know. Well, it could have, it could have been me hitting the microphone. It could have been me like moving the microphone. Yours was a ping, not a vibrate. Okay. Okay, let's finish the story. Midir sent 3 times 20 beautiful women, all having the appearance of Etain. And he bade the king choose her out from among them, and the first he chose was his own daughter Essa. But then Etain called to him, and he knew her, and he brought her home to Tara. And Aechid gave his daughter Essa her choice of a place for herself, and she chose it, and made a rath there, that got the name of Rath Essa, and from it she could see 3 notable places: the hill of the sheath in Broga, and the hill of the hostages in Tara, and Dún Crehan in Bain Either. But there was great anger on Midir and his people because of the hill being attacked and dug into. And it was in revenge for the insult they brought Conair, High King of Ireland, that was the grandson of Aechid and of Etain, to his death afterwards at Adurga's inn. But that's another story. It actually is. The Durga's inn is another story, is another tale. Do we cover it in this book, I wonder? But that ends the tale of Etain and, well, really the tale of Etain, I would say. I really feel like it has it as Midir and Etain, but I really feel like this is the story of Etain. But I do hope you guys enjoyed the, at times, kind of all over the place stories. And then I really like that at the very end we got a really strong tale, a really strong story. But I think we hit 3 hours, so I was right. I was right. If we will have a longer stream, we really did. I'm glad I finished too. Can you read the ugly barnacle? The ugly barnacle. Isn't that? Once upon a time, there was an ugly barnacle. He was so ugly that everybody died. The end. Rua, how was your day? Wow. My day was good though. My day was good. I got some clap, 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 clap. Hello, Cheryl. It's nice to see you. Clap, 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 clap. Wow, you guys really reacted to that story more than anything I did. You're hurt. No, Trisket. Um, what was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say. Um, if you're awake and you haven't already, you should follow me. You should follow the Twitch if you guys want to hear more stories. It worked. It worked. Hell yeah. It's working. But no, in reality, thank you again to yeah, let me just make sure I get this correct. Wait, no, I can filter these. I want none of these, and I want these two. There we go. Thank you again to Iceboy Wav and Fuji. Triscuits. 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 How dare you? How dare you? To Iceboy Wav and Fuji for the raids. Very, very kind of them to do so. And I suppose now we will look to pass it on. Oh no, what happened? You know what happened. You know what happened, you little trickster. You little Trisket. Triscuit's the trickster. Luna, I summon you with a daily reminder. Huh? Huh? What just happened? Cool, thank you, Luna. I don't know if there's some kind of... I don't know what this is, but... Good job. Thank you. Thank you, that was a good reminder. Daily reminder, everyone here is a cutie pie. Or twin powers are confusing him. Oh, these little sneakies. These sneaky two girls. Twins. That's cute. That's really cute to do. Hello, Ruby. Hello, Luna. It's nice to meet both of you. That's really funny. That's really cute. I noticed that only Roomba. Thank you for the head pat, Haru. What was that noise? It's a summoning Roomba. I want a Roomba. They look cool. Twins are powerful. They're telepathic, you know. Unfortunately, you guys kind of caught me right at the end. You're a twin, Gusto. Ooh, cool. Identical twins? Or, like, you know, non-identical twins? Thick Roomba. Big Roomba. I want Roomba, but you tape 4 knives onto it in the 4 cardinal directions. North, east, south, and west. And then you just kind of let it go. Kind of just let it do its thing. Fraternal. You have a twin sister. Nice, nice. Hello, Pick Ripper. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you very much for the follow. I almost don't want to end stream because there's a lot of people, but unfortunately, you know, I suppose I can chat for a little while, but I do need to go to bed very soon. So, Roomba with RGB, Roomba with hydraulics. What of that one? Roll up into the hydraulics crowd, bumping your Roomba. kind of jumps from side to side. Roombas are cool little guys. Goomba. Hey, Goomba. Twin power. Activate. Oh, there. Oh, you guys are cute. Thank you, Claire, for the face hold. Thank you. Goomba. No, Taya. Not a Goomba. Goomba. Not Goomba. Those are two different things. Have you seen Thick... What? Huh? Have you seen Thick Mommy Emma Frost coming? Marvel Rival. What are you talking about? Let me look this up. Let me look this up and see what the hell you guys are even saying. Now I have... Great. Now I have Thick Mommy Emma Frost in my search history. How do I explain that one? Oh. Oh. I see. Oh, that poor Spider-Man. I see. I understand now. I understand. Nora's 100% correct. Look it up. Ruby has crashed. Oh no! Poor Ruby. The twin powers was too much. Spider-Man, why is he getting involved? He was being crushed between her legs. It should have been me. Yeah, I don't know. I just saw some random art. We're at the beach, so you're internet. Ooh, you guys are at the beach and you're watching a VTuber. Go swim. Go dive into the ocean. There could be sharks there though. Maybe don't do that. You know, no, continue watching me. That's a good way to spend your time. No. Based. When is your turn? Me first. Too bad. Look at the X Revolution skin. You're too scared to walk in the sand because it's parasite. A parasite latched onto you a couple of minutes ago. Ew, no. No, you first. Hang on, let me look this up. Emma Frost. What is it? X? What is it? X Revolution. Skin. Oh. 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 I see. Oh, yeah, no, thank you. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Steal Emma Frost, I'll steal Genzuki. That's not fair. You can't just steal. Get away from him. He's mine. That sucks so, Luna. I would not want to parasite. That would freak me out. I would not want to go anywhere near the sand. If there was some... I've seen those things where, like, people, like, I guess they put, like, a little bit of water or they, like, kind of touch the sand a little bit and there's some giant, like, sandworm thing that bites onto it. If one of those things bit me and I fell backwards and there was just this giant sandworm chomped onto my foot, I would be very upset. You'll share him with D. Get away from him. He's mine. There will be no sharing. Hang on, Haru. How about me and you play a game of chess? Imagine you turn into an anime parasite. Would D share Genzuki? No, she wouldn't. D and I think, are cut from the same cloth in that regard. She understands. She gets it. We both wrote stories to each other about how we were both, like, rejected by Genzuki. like as like point of view fan fiction, you get rejected by Genzuki. Me and her are of. It's amazing that me and her basically met in the way we did, and then it turns out that she's just a massive Genzuki fan too. You're playing Uno? Nice. I haven't played Uno in ages. You get a sliver of his hair. You may, if he allows it. If he allows it. +4, +4. How about gun? How about I shoot you instead? You pick up the 4 cards, or I shoot you. Okay. Anyway, I think I'm going to the wild draw 4. Oh my god, dude! That reminds me of playing Take Two, with just a deck of cards. And I remember at one time, like it went around and around, people having 2s to make people, draw 2, or go fish, I suppose it's called. But no, it was Take Two. It was Take Two. That was fun. That was fun. I think. You know what I think? I think I know who I'm going to raid into. We're going to raid into Foxy Shroom Witch. She's doing some 3DO ASMR. I think it would look real nice. Sound real nice. She has a really pretty model. She's a very cute fox. Thank you for Strem Bully. I'm not a bully. That's mean. Don't you be mean to me, Haru. I spent like 3+ hours reading for you. Well, no, it was more like 2.5 maybe. Not even. Thank you for stream. Say that to the snails. Don't bring that up. You're getting that wig. Come pry it off my cold, dead scalp. Can you do a thicker Irish accent before you leave? Wait, Di, didn't you like when I... Hang on, let me try and get into it. Didn't you like when I tried to do the kind of more Northern Ireland? I don't know how well I'm doing it right now. Like, again, it's kind of going into a bit of a Scottish accent, but I'm trying to keep it more Northern Irish. Would you guys like me to try and talk? Would you guys like me to... Ah, fuck. I lost it. Kiar. They pronounce Kiar instead of car. Instead of car, they pronounce it like Kiar. Kiar. Hop into Kiar. Top of the morning to me. I'll fucking knock you out, lad. This is more like McGregor. Wait, hang on. Let me get the raid going so that I don't go insane. What are we raiding into to Shroomy with? What are we raiding into Shroomy with? What if we just did that? What if we did the 2 hands in Shroomy? Snails? No, don't tell her about my snails. I have the sniffles right now. Shroom. Oh, that is perfect. That is perfect. I love it. But I need the face. I need the sus face. Wait, hang on. Why isn't it allowing me copy paste? There we go. Thank you. Excellent. That's what we'll do. The snails pip is I killed like 4 snails by accident one night. 3 in quick rapid succession, and then 1 like 10 minutes later, and I still think about it to this day. But thank you guys for joining, and thank you again to Ice by Wav and to Fuji for the raids. It was very kind of you guys, and thank you all of you who are probably just asleep, but those of you who did stick around, those of you who did listen, I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. We got a lot done, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the story of Attain. I think it's a really fun little story. Really cool. Greg Mila Magut and Slán go Fóil. Bye bye.